Sorry. Okay, now we're recording.
Okay. No! So last we left off, a series of revelations were made during the session. Among the first, you all learned about Neri's life in Waterdeep and her shop, the Grey Veil. You also made your way over to one of her regular haunts, the Bowels of the Earth, where you met Tom/Royce. And during your time at this tavern, Neri revealed to you some of her experiences with the Featherlung Plague that took place a few years prior, as well as her connection to the Harpers and some of the information she's seeking out. Following this night of drinking and exchanging of information, you all returned to the Grey Veil, woke up the next day, and set about identifying the various objects you had picked up previously on your adventures, deciding amongst yourselves whether or not to sell them. Corvid met up with one of Neri's friends and business partners, who was able to teach them how to craft a healing potion. And then in the evening, you returned to the Grey Veil to find Remy there, getting stoned, after which she revealed that the person that Neri is looking for, Leosin or Lathander, is currently staying at the Open Lord's Palace in Waterdeep, upon the hospitality of Open Lord Layrel Silverhand. And you're not quite sure how to go about getting an audience with him, making your way into the Open Lord's Palace because of Finn's associations with this particular administrative building. Some discussion was had about how to do this, and certain individuals suggested perhaps creating a scene in the City of the Dead, which would allow Neri to make her way to the Open Lord's Palace to provide them with a report of the goings-on. And that is where we left off. So it is evening. We are at the Grey Veil Apothecary, and Remy's still stoned.
So is this directly after our conversation?
Yeah. Yep. Remy just went upstairs and got bit by the cat on the way up.
Yep. Right.
So, yeah. I mean, I feel like maybe there are stupider plans, but can't name any.
I think it could work.
At the same time, I mean, we could just go knock on the front door.
We could, but that wouldn't be as fun.
True.
Neri, you would know that civilians are allowed in the Open Lord's Palace. It's one of the few places where the citizens actually get to see the Open Lord as well as the administrative officials during the Lord's Court. So people are allowed to come in, just like, any government building in our world, any courthouse or whatnot. Getting into certain parts of the building, certain rooms, halls might present a little bit more of a challenge because you have to have an actual reason to be there. But it's not like you wouldn't be permitted to enter the building at all.
Don't tell her that.
Well, can we just go and see if we can go talk to him, and maybe Finn can hang out not with us for a little bit?
That's probably a good idea.
Who's Finn? That's my grandma.
You are still wearing that makeup. It's
True.
probably at this point in time worn pretty considerably, probably in need of a reapplication. But it is the evening, and you are inside a relatively secure location, so that's up to you.
That's inspiring. Relatively safe. Okay.
If it's secure.
Whatever.
You have decent locks on your doors and whatnot. No one's broken in the time you've been away.
True.
So that doesn't necessarily mean people couldn't potentially drop by. You are a shop.
Yeah.
So you never know.
No light in my pencil. Okay. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I think you're in less danger from the, city watch than the Zentrum, Finn. So, I don't know. Like, you stole shit, but in the grand scheme of things, you kept the Zentrum from getting the information. So,
Yeah. Are we going to do this tomorrow? We need to decide now.
I mean, what's the point in waiting?
That's true.
So the question is, are we going to go on with this tomfuckery in the City of the Dead, or are we just going to go knock on the door?
Why not both?
Why don't we try,
Yama's
knocking
like,
on the door first, and then doing the
Tomfuckery?
shenanigans, yeah. If that doesn't work. But then what if we knock on the front door and then they know and they're waiting for us? No, it'll probably work.
You're going to have to narrow that down. What'll probably work? What do you want to do? It's kind of up to you. Tomfuckery or just go knock on the door?
I don't know. Tomfuckery kind of sounds fun. But knocking on the door makes the most sense. So it's not up to me. You guys have to decide.
Wow. I mean, we all know Yama's vote. / Jennifer's vote.
Out of character, I'm half thinking, what if we use the immovable rod to jump up and then Assassin's Creed climb up the outside of the wall and try and find the right room?
Wait. Oh my god, of the palace? That's so much worse!
oh my god.
That's our DM going, please don't.
I know, can we just
So
hold on to
many
the rod
athletic checks.
do a pull up
Oh
and
my
shove it and click it again?
Yeah.
Moving up the
How would
side.
you do that?
A salmon run on a maritime warrior. Oh my god.
Who's the strongest?
You have to remember that technically only one party member is really based on actual movement and the ability to do shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's Finn.
And she already fucked up. So.
Oh my god, so many dex checks.
So many. Jesus.
Not to mention just the general strength checks to see if you guys could even do a fucking pull-up.
Yeah, I don't have that much. I don't have any strength modifier.
I mean,
Also, you're very short, so how far is that bar?
I'm very
actually
small and I have no money.
A little bit at a time.
Oh my god. Okay, so, all right. Are we doing this bullshit in the City of the Dead and then knocking on the door? I mean, Corvid, what do you think?
I think we should just try and knock on the door first.
Should have seen that coming.
If that doesn't work, then we can go fuck around in the City of the Dead. But I think only one of us should go show our face at the palace first.
I
Yeah.
think now we feel
For
another
half of us, right? So if it doesn't work, we need to have like 4. I guess there's 5 of us. 3 people, 2 or 3 people who have not been seen like with you to like go fuck shit up in the land of the dead.
True.
Okay. So does that mean that I'm going to knock on the door myself?
Well, someone should go with you.
Well,
Who wants to go? Finn can't. I could go.
you could go.
I'm not very good at tomfoolery anyways, so.
Yeah, I think Corvid should go too.
Because I'm pretty charismatic as well, so I could maybe like help
Fix
us.
shit when I fuck it up. Yeah. Perfect. So Yama, does that mean that you're staying so that you can theoretically help with tomfuckery?
Theoretically, yes.
I'll give you the cloak of billowing so you can like billow in the city of the dead.
Thank you.
Bird staff and a billowing cloak.
Tomfuckery consists of bird calls and a billowing cloak, and that's it.
That's all we got.
What the fuck?
Don't know until you try.
It's not. Oh my god, that is one way to play D&D. All right. I mean,
So what's the plan?
I think that Corvid and I are going to go up to the palace to just behave like normal people,
Mm-hmm.
and then if we can't get a chat with Leosin, then the others will engage in tomfuckery, and then I can go back, I guess.
Who has the ability? Is it Remy that has the ability to like talk across distances?
Oh, message or sending? Is it
Yeah.
sending?
How far does that work?
So DMs not necessarily player character knowledge because Remy's not present, therefore she couldn't tell you these things, but just so you guys know how these spells work. Message is one that works within like 150 feet and it goes through walls. Sending is a 3rd level spell because message is just a cantrip. Sending is a 3rd level spell that as long as you know the person, you can send them the information wherever they happen to be.
And can they talk to you?
Yeah, but there's a 25 word limit.
Okay.
For both people.
Both back and forth. Okay. Oh, and we have walkie-talkies, don't we?
You have sending stones.
Oh yeah.
Sending stones.
So we could have one party we could have those between the 2 of us, and if we can't get in, we can be like, start the shit.
So, are you guys gonna go visit right now?
What time? It's late, isn't it?
It's late.
Yeah, it's not now. It'll be probably.
So you're gonna go in the morning, and then if you don't get a meeting in the morning, you're gonna immediately start the tomfuckery in the middle of the day.
No,
right? You would know.
No, we're not going to do the tomfuckery in the middle of the day because anybody's allowed in the city of the dead during the day.
Because it's a park.
Yeah. So, we would have to wait and pull the tomfuckery tomorrow night.
Okay.
Which means that keep going. You guys might be able to come to that conclusion on your own.
So, I mean, it might be a little bit more logical if we're gonna do the tomfuckery to just do it, I guess.
Right now?
Fuck. I don't know.
Reminder, Remy went to bed and she is high.
Reminder, Remy can't save your asses.
Right.
So if you wanted her to contribute to tomfuckery,
she's already fucked up, yeah.
Want to do it when she's awake and lucid.
Yeah, I think we should try you guys knocking on the door tomorrow because nothing bad has ever happened to splitting up parties before.
Or knocking on doors.
Yeah.
In this party specifically.
If that doesn't work, then Yama and I can go to the city of the dead with probably somebody like Remy or
Remy.
something. Tomorrow, and we'll do the distraction while you guys
At
go
night. Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Cool. That sounds like a good plan.
So I have access to the City of the Dead at night. People generally aren't allowed in the City of the Dead at night. I don't know what the mechanic is for how you get in and out, but I'm generally let in. But otherwise, City of the Dead is closed, which means that you guys have to get in on your own.
That won't be a problem.
So,
Yeah.
Neri.
I mean, I would know what the mechanic is, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, Neri, you would know that the City of the Dead it's a walled cemetery, which is pretty fucking strictly patrolled by the Watch.
Okay.
In fact, there are 2 watchtowers along the walls of the City of the Dead with an external guard posted to watch for trouble in the various corners and alleys that abut the cemetery. Yes.
Sorry.
There are also generally a number of watch members on duty within each of the towers, with more watch members making a sweep through the City of the Dead a few times an hour.
What time does it close? Like 5?
Dark.
Dusk.
At 5.
At dusk. No one is technically allowed in after dusk, and the gates are locked.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean there aren't people in there who are doing shady shit, but it's off limits after dusk.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm generally let in, but most people are not. So,
Okay.
but I can't get you guys in there because I can't be seen with you, kind of a thing. So, but we can definitely start with just going talking to whoever and seeing if we can find Leosin.
Basically, it's going to be a B&E if you guys...
Yeah.
Not only are you going to be doing tomfuckery, it's also going to be a B&E. So just keep that in
So what
mind.
you're saying is we'll never be allowed back in Waterdeep.
We can never come back to this city.
I mean, that's basically what happened in my other campaign too because of Cody and Gia.
Well, that tracks.
Merritt is never allowed back in Waterdeep ever again.
True.
So, yeah, we can start by going and seeing if we can find and talk to Leosin. So
I wish we could also do the like the Star Wars thing. Like you could bring Finn in and be like, "I'm here to see the Open Lord."
no.
You mean pretend like she's a criminal that you've captured?
I'm a cleric. That might work for Anne, but Anne's not here.
What do you mean you're a cleric? Clerics can do shit like that.
I am not a bounty hunter.
You don't have to. You can fake it. It's called deception.
Yeah, I got like nothing on that. I got like a 2.
Oh, that's true. I did build a weird cleric.
Yeah, you built a shady bitch with lots of money. Yes. No.
She's
Nerium.
from one of the wealthiest temples.
Yeah, we know. We know she's a shady bitch with a lot of money.
She's
Yes.
not shady. She's done nothing shady. She's been pretty fucking forthright with y'all.
Yeah, with us.
She's pretty much forthright with everyone.
Okay, so I guess we can go knock on the door tomorrow and see if we can talk to Leosin. But yeah, I think that Finn, I would be less worried about necessarily like the city watch here and more worried about the Zentrim. One of them is significantly shadier than the other. But yeah. But the plan is not to tell them where you are or anything like that, so.
Oh, that's true. Does the Zentrum have like eyes at the palace?
Very probably.
Okay.
I wouldn't suspect anything different. But we know at this point that the Open Lord is a harper. And that theoretically, I think, Leosin is a harper. So probably safer there than Other places? I don't know.
Gray will definitely confirm for you that Leosin is a Harper agent, and that's
Okay,
why.
I mean,
he's
I
in
assumed,
contact.
but
Yeah.
like,
Come here.
so
Come here.
Well, I think we have like as much of a plan as we can kind of formulate at this point, because we have to figure out what happens in the morning when you guys go.
yeah, so basically, I'm just gonna say whatever the fuck I have to
Yeah.
Yeah.
to meet this person.
Greater good, right?
Yeah, my persuasion is +5, so that's good. And my intimidation is also +5.
Yeah, my persuasion is +4, and my insight is +6. So
Sweet. I think we're a pretty good team. I think we can do it.
yeah,
I just have to not freak out and run away.
gay panic.
Are these deciduous trees?
Swear to God, Ollie has just played the same character through all of our shit, and it's great.
Different name, different appearance, same character.
Junie!
All right.
All right. Well, yeah, I think that's pretty much as I don't know how to plan anything as Nerium or myself. So.
Hey, it's more of a plan than we normally have, and we're still alive, so.
Sort of.
We may have died, but at least we're still alive. We got better. You got better.
I think Finn's technically the only one that's not been like near death
Yeah.
or dead.
Or
I have
unconscious.
1 hit point.
Right, but you were still,
unconscious.
you were still up.
Unconscious and rolling for death saves is what I consider near death.
Yeah.
So, who's been that twice now? Oh yeah, that's right. Sparkle.
Twice in like a 12-second time span. Yeah. And then dead. It's pretty bad.
Actually dead.
But I don't plan on saying anything that's going to get me killed, you know. There.
Do we ever plan on saying anything that's going to get us killed?
Hi, I'd like to talk to your boss.
Gonna turn Karen, or are you just gonna ask to speak to everyone's manager?
Oh my god. Yeah, this is gonna go well.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Also, I dyed Juniper's tail blue, but he sat down while I was dyeing his tail blue, so now his whole butt is blue.
Oh no!
That's all. It looks like he sat in a puddle of Kool-Aid.
Love it.
I'll show you guys when he's done with his chewy.
Okay. All right, so you have a plan. Ish. What are you going to do for the rest of the day? It is the evening, but if there's anything in particular you'd like to do before you hit the hay.
Did we have dinner already? Have we eaten food?
You were at the bowels of the earth. Remember, Tom gave you what constitutes food.
That wasn't today.
Yeah, that was today. Okay.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, that wasn't today.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Okay, that's true. That was yesterday.
What year is
Slash
it?
2 weeks ago. Anyway.
I'm gonna screen cap that face later.
Please don't. Oh my god. If you need gifts, I can give them to you. Let's see. All right.
So I'd like to get some food, maybe.
All right. So, do you want?
Whoa.
It's Remy.
Oh my god.
I'm done.
All right. So are we gonna go get real food, or are we gonna go back to the bowels of the earth?
I want real food, maybe.
Okay. So, I mean, would I know somewhere to go? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you lived here for your whole fucking life. I'm pretty sure you'd know where to go at this point.
Right.
Do you want some, okay, let's say, do you want somewhere nice, Do you want somewhere nice and expensive? Do you want somewhere decent and modestly priced? Or do you want a shithole?
I mean, decent food would be nice for one time.
Decent and moderately priced?
Yeah. With some like decent alcohol.
All right. Okay, so for the sake of brevity.
Before we go, though, I want to touch up my disguise.
Roll a d20 plus proficiency. And this is the third or fourth time you're using
Natural
it?
20.
Ooh.
Is this like the third or fourth time you're using it?
I think
it's
maybe
third.
the fourth. I don't know.
Because I think you did it once before we came in, and then you did it after we went to the spa.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the third.
Okay, just checking. So natural 20, you managed to touch up everything as necessary with the various cosmetics that are inside your disguise kit. So you still look like an aged half-elf or halfling, excuse me. So, all right,
Perfect.
again. So we'll say, given Neri's history in Waterdeep, she's able to locate an inn that provides both food and drink at a moderate price. It's considerably better food than what you got at Bowels of the Earth. You're not eating mystery meat this time. And so just go ahead, everybody mark, what the fuck, like 5, I think. Like 5 silver pieces off of your inventory.
Not bad.
I think. I feel like that's right. I always fuck myself over on. I can remember the prices for everything else, but food.
I mean, but like,
Attention to the
art
cost of that.
imitates life there, so.
Yeah, I know. Very true. I mean, last night.
Yeah.
5 silver. Well. Yeah. Go ahead. A nice hearty meal. You have options. You guys can think about what you would like to eat within 5 silver pieces. So, whatever that is for you. And if you also want any
Alcohol.
so the nicer establishments, unfortunately for Neri, aren't gonna really have much clue
I do
available.
drink nicer alcohol. It's just a preference depending on the
For
time.
shit. A preference for shit.
It's a preference depending on what I'm doing.
But if you're wanting like ale as well with your dinner, you can get that as well, and I won't make you subtract that from your overall. We'll just say it came with the meal.
Cool.
So. All right, so you go out, you have yourself some dinner. Do you make your way back to the Grey Vale?
Yeah. We should probably check and see that Remy's still there.
All right, is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can make your way up to the upper level of the Grey Vale, up your rickety old stairs into basically what is a storage room, and you do see passed out on a lumpy fucking mattress, Remy. One leg is like up, the other's extended, and she's just kind of like. She's out.
All right.
Isirmak is basically sitting on her hair. So if she were to try and get up at this moment, she would find difficulty in that there's a 13-pound cat sleeping on all of her hair. So.
Yeah. Sure. I'll sleep where I slept last night.
Okay.
With my head like on the foot of the bed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back down to my gross cot. Sleep there.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's
I just
stained.
like the way that we're talking about this assumes that like Neri has no ability to like clean or sanitize anything.
Which it's definitely not the case. It's stained but cleaned if dusty. Everything's dusty.
Using what is it, like prestidigitation to clean everything off, but you have to do it 1 cubic foot at a time.
Right. And it doesn't get rid of stains. It just kind of makes sure that it's clean.
Yeah. Oh god. All right. Okay, so you all bed down for the night, find yourselves a good night's rest in the Grey Vale Apothecary. You wake to the morning with your plan for the day ahead of you.
Fuck.
All right.
This is gonna be a shit show.
And you have to watch it. You don't
I'm
even get to
excited.
contribute to it. Okay.
Why nothing bad will happen.
I'm sure everything will be according to plan, because that's what always happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Mm-hmm. It'll be great. It's gonna be fine.
Fuck.
That's how I run my life, guys.
Jesus, I'm not good at talking impromptu in person to people who are important, much less in like a fantasy world. All right. I guess I'll roll the fuck over and get up. Do we have a sending stone? I mean, we should, because the last time that we fucked with the sending stones was in the cart. So theoretically,
Yeah, you guys
we'll
should
have one.
easily be able to discuss amongst yourselves who's going to take the sending stones,
Cool.
who's going to hold on to the other one.
Corvid, do you want to hold on to the setting stone?
Sure.
Okay, cool. And then you guys can figure out who has the other one.
What's our plan with the sending stone? Are we using them to call for help, or are we just like updating?
If something goes horribly wrong, I
Okay.
guess. But I mean, in reality, it'll either go okay or it won't work. And
I mean, I don't think that anything awful is going to happen to us. I think maybe the awful things are going to happen at nighttime.
yeah, if we decide to go through with this tomfuckery bullshit.
Into a graveyard.
Is Remy awake? I mean, she probably is.
When you woke up, the bed was empty.
All right, well, not here, I assume. So.
She's not in the room, but if you made your way downstairs, you could easily find her at the front counter.
Okay.
She inexplicably has a cup of coffee, which is weird because there's no coffee at the Grey Vale Apothecary.
No,
Didn't
but I
bring
assume
all
that I
of
would
us
know where she
coffee?
got it. Come on, have you met Remy?
I mean, it's
So-
still common courtesy.
Did you not catch that, like, clerics of Lathander experience a compulsion to wake with the dawn, whether they like it or not?
Yeah, but I still want a coffee.
Coffee is hella fucking expensive in this world, by the way.
Yeah, well,
Why?
she's made of money, so.
Yeah, it doesn't mean she shares with others.
Whatever, she did like spend a yellow diamond to keep Nerium alive, so that was nice.
Yeah, you guys owe her 300 gold.
Well, I mean, are you staying here? Or
What's going on? What?
we're going to go to Corvid and I are going to go up to the palace and see if we can just talk our way into chatting with Leosin.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Are you-
Does Remy have any
Want me to
tips about
come?
this?
Like, don't fuck it up.
Thanks, Remy.
I don't understand what kind of tips you're looking for here.
Does Remy, do you know anything about this? Because you just happen to know where the guy was staying, so do you know anything about him?
Well, I mean,
Let's be clear. She didn't just know that. She fucked someone.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
the information.
I
That's
forgot how she got that.
Doesn't just
That's what I
inherently
said.
know everything.
yeah,
Okay. We're good. I forgot how she got that knowledge.
that's yeah. Information gathering.
Yeah, respect. Whatever. So are you staying here and doing whatever the fuck you're gonna do? Because if this doesn't work, then theoretically we're gonna go along with your plan that you came up with last night.
I came up with a plan last night.
Yeah, so I'll see you later, and Finn and Yama will fill you in on that shit. I'm gonna go find some coffee and make my way over to the castle ward. Corvid, you coming?
Yeah, I'm coming. Cool. Yeah, I'm coming. Let's go.
All right. So are you both making your way over?
Yeah, I'm gonna find somewhere to get coffee on the way.
Okay. Well, so you're gonna have to definitely find somewhere in the castle ward because you're not gonna be able to find it really in the trades ward unless it's like stuff that's been brought in by merchants for sale, and in that case you're buying like
a 10-pound bag,
several, of beans and shit. There are some inns and taverns that do make it available, but again, it's pretty fucking expensive.
Yeah, I know.
So mark 5 gold off of your...
Holy shit. I don't want any coffee.
$50 for a
It's
cup
imported.
of coffee. I would do it.
All right. So you're able to obtain and a wonderful single origin cup of coffee with beans imported from Termish.
Yep. I'm gonna pour a little bit of whiskey into it.
Are you doing this in public inside the tavern / inn or whatever?
No.
Oh, are you doing this on the street?
Yeah.
Are you trying to hide the fact that you're doing it? Or are you just going to do it out in the
Why
open?
would I?
I was just asking.
Oh, no, I'm just doing it.
Okay, so people definitely watch you kind of take out your flask and pour like some of your plue.
They don't know what it is. So.
Really, well, they don't know what it is. I know what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what it is.
Mm.
Pour some of your plue, what they see as a brown liquor from a flask into your coffee that you just spent 5 gold pieces on.
Yep.
In the castle ward. So some of these more discerning ladies and gentlemen are looking at it and going, and their minds are just like, why the fuck would you ruin that perfectly good cup of coffee? Others are just like, one of those days like, hits their head at you as they walk by.
Yeah.
All right. So you are headed presently to the Open Lord's Palace. You would know exactly what you're looking for. One second. I'm going to pull up a map. Is that the one I want? I can't remember which one I fucking want. Just to give you a general idea of where ye be. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Screen share. Okay. So this is the castle ward. The trades ward is over here, and y'all are about in this area.
Mm-hmm.
The Open Lord's Palace is right here. Can you even see my? Can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure. So this is the Open Lord's Palace. Everybody who lives in Waterdeep is pretty fucking familiar with it. It's a white marble palace, and it's known by the locals as Purgeron's Palace. Purgeron being one of the previous Open Lords during the mid to late 14th century. It houses the main office locations for many city officials, the majority of which are dedicated to city administration. including the Watch, the Guard, city clerks, and the Loyal Order of Street Laborers. You do know that the the Lord's Court meets in a large chamber on the second floor that you can reach from the grand staircase that is present in the open entry hall. You know it also houses a number of embassies, and visiting dignitaries are welcome to stay there if they do not happen to have an embassy of their own in Waterdeep. So you can make your way to this very large, imposing white marble castle on this bluff on top of Mount Waterdeep. So as you approach, you do see a number of individuals moving in and out of the main doors. There are guards posted just one off to each side, similar to like if you were going to Buckingham Palace. There are guards present. They don't seem to be stopping anyone who's headed in or out, but they are keeping a very watchful eye on the comings and goings at the castle.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess we can make our way inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just go.
All right, so you are easily able to move past a number of individuals dressed in a range of fine clothing into the doors, into this very grand open entry hall. The furnishings in this place are incredibly ornate. They're very well maintained and very befitting of what basically amounts to the most important building in Waterdeep that is intended to serve all of the citizens. A number of individuals are walking back and forth. You do see some in very stately robes headed up the grand staircase, as well as a number of people rushing around carrying various boxes and attachés and whatnot, carrying out their daily duties.
Can I? Oh, does it seem like there's anyone in this particular area that? Seems like they're directing people, or
you're looking for like a docent?
Sure.
Roll a perception check.
So 17 plus 4, so 21.
Okay. So looking around, you are able to pinpoint a number of people who do look like they are relatively in charge instead of being middle management. However, there are a number of people surrounding them. They don't seem to be paying much attention to anybody else, more busy with their own tasks, as well as a number of guards. There is one person in particular that at the moment does seem to be providing maybe some sort of directions to those visiting the palace. It doesn't necessarily seem like it's her job per se, but there is a young elf woman who is telling someone how to locate a particular office at the moment. You can overhear this conversation.
Can I? I'm gonna walk up to her.
Okay. So again, she's a young female elf dressed in relatively nice clothing and some robes that indicate that she is one of the administrative workers here. She's carrying a series of parchment, probably official documents, given the fact that they seem to have a number of seals on them. And she sees you walk up as she finishes providing this information to the people in front of her. They look kind of at you a little like,
who's this underdressed
we're having a conversation here. But obtain the directions from her and head off as she sends them off. Yes.
I'm so sorry to bother you, but I am a little bit at a loss. I'm not sure how to find the particular person I'm looking for, and I would love some advice.
Who are, well, that's not exactly in my job description, but who are you looking for?
So I am looking for a gentleman by the name of Leosin Lathander. And I have it on good authority that he's staying in the palace, and I just don't know where to start my search. So if you could point me in a direction so I can bug someone else, and you can go about your work. I'm so sorry to bother you.
May I ask, why might this gentleman be staying here?
I have
Who
no
is he a
idea.
guest of?
He is a guest of the Open Lord.
Oh, well. She kind of holds up a finger to you and kind of like leafs through some of the papers, making sure that she's angling them in a way where you can't see anything that's on them. She's being very particular about that. Ah, yes, Mr. Lathander. We do seem to have someone under that name staying with us.
Yes. Do you know if there's a way that I can get in touch with him, request an audience?
And why might you wish to see him?
I
can't simply let anybody into.
I absolutely understand. And I have to admit that I don't entirely know why, but it seems to be a matter of some importance, and I have been requested to chat with him. I'm not entirely sure why. I wish that I could give you more information, but do you know of a way that I can start this process?
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, fucking hell. That's a natural 20 plus 4.
All right. Well, does sound of some importance. Mr. Lathander is staying in the northern wing in the guest quarters. Just a moment.
Thank you.
Thomas. And she gestures over to a young man who's dressed in a suit and has him come over. And he's definitely it's a young human man, probably in his late teens, early 20s, and he's just kind of like, yeah. Would you be a dear and escort this lady to Mr. Lathander's quarters over in the northern wing? Yeah, of course. Come with me. And she just kind of smiles at you and then goes back to her work. To her, the matter is taken care of, and this young boy leads you through the halls to the northern wing, where there are a number of guest rooms. That accent got away from me. And presents you in front of a large wooden door, and just goes, right through here.
Thanks.
Nods and rushes off. Doesn't even wait for you to respond.
Holy fuck. I'm gonna look at Corvid, my eyes are real wide. And I guess I'm gonna knock on the door with the head of my cane. Oh my god.
Rap. Open up, I'm gonna beat you the fuck up.
No!
All right.
Jesus.
I'm gonna try and look kind of intimidating. Like, not like I'm gonna beat him up, but just like a little intimidating.
Like, you know what's going the fuck on. Yeah.
Roll an intimidation check. And let me
20. Let's see, intimidation 24.
hold on 1 second. I did not prepare for that.
Jesus. Hi, this is my hired vessel. Who happens to be a paladin.
It is squishy as fuck, but whatever. No one needs to know that.
I mean,
Okay.
to be fair, you're not that squishy.
I guess I'm not that squishy. I meant more flighty.
Those
All
are
right.
two very different.
So, after you knock, you do hear a little bit of movement on the other side, and you can see from the light that comes underneath the door, someone has approached it. They open the door, and you see standing before you a rather tall, dark-haired, tawny-skinned, half-elf man. Yes. How is it that I may help you?
Leosin, I presume.
Yes. And who might you be?
Nerium Oleander, and this is my friend. And I look over, and you're like, "What are you doing to look intimidating?"
Describe what you're doing.
I'm just like standing there, kind of flexing, like not scowling, but like not smiling either. Just sort of looking like I don't give a fuck, but also like staring intently.
So he looks to you, Neri, and then looks to Corvid, and like you see for a split second his face is just like, and then looks back to you, just completely is like, I'm gonna ignore whatever's going on over here.
This is Corvid, and I'm gonna pull out my pin and hold it up specifically so that people, like if there's anyone in the hallway, whether or not I know there's people in the hallway, like I'm gonna hold it up so that people in the hallway can't see, but just so that he can see. And I have been requested to come and chat with you on a matter of import.
He sees the pin, and at that moment he gestures for both of you to enter, stepping aside so he's no longer blocking the door.
Thank you, and I will walk in.
Corvid, are you staying in the hall, or are you coming in?
I'll come in.
Okay, so once you both enter the room, and it is a rather nice guest quarters. Again, these are usually provided for the various embassy representatives who are visiting Waterdeep. He allows you to enter, shuts the door, and immediately locks it. He turns to you, Neri, and says, "It's a good effort, but you might want to learn a little bit more about discretion."
Okay, well, I'm new, so, you know.
Well, as you've entered the room, because he was trying to hide it behind the door, but you do realize that he's not necessarily dressed very similarly to those the other people that you saw within the palace itself. Rather, he's dressed more like some of the individuals you've seen at the monks' temples and lodges within the city. He turns to you and he says, "Well, so I understand who this might be connected to, but what exactly is this about?"
I was told to come and talk to you by Sister Garel in Phandalin. I don't know what this is about.
Garel?
Yeah.
Oh, in Phandalin. So, guess that means she's returned from Neverwinter. Well, what'd you say your name was?
Nerium.
Okay, so at hearing your name, he moves over to a desk, which is it's basically like a roll top desk. He unlocks it, opens it up, and starts shuffling through some papers.
So do you have any idea what this is about?
He ignores you saying that and goes, yes, okay. Oh, from their Grey Vale, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, since you've already talked to Grell, I suppose it's time to share some information. What exactly have you been told? Just so I know where to fill in the blanks.
Infuriatingly little. I know that the Open Lord is a harper. And I have had contact with Lillerin, and I've had contact with Garel, but I didn't know any of this, or that the Harpers even existed, or that Andmus was one of them.
I mean, that is the point of a secret organization.
Great, but like this was kind of thrown onto my lap like when he died, so I don't know what's going on. I want to know, but I can't even read this goddamn book, so I don't know. And there was something he was trying to tell me, but I don't know what it was. And really, I just like to stop imagining everything that might be happening or happened or whatever. So I don't know really anything. Lillerin told me to go and see Garel. And then Garel sent me to you.
So you don't know about the giants?
The fuck? What?
Giants.
I'm going to go with a hard no. And I'm going to look at Corvid and be like, have we talked about giants? I don't think we've talked about giants.
I'm gonna go,
Well, that's odd. I thought you would have been here about the document.
Which document?
The one that your friend took.
I mean, it'd be nice to know about, been less than forthcoming about it. So.
Well, I heard from Garel that you were coming, so.
I figured.
So basically the situation is this. Your friend, who's clearly not present,
That was a very active choice.
Understood, though I don't feel like she'd face any issues from making herself known, particularly here. The Silver Lady has no intention of seeking any retribution against her.
Even though it was definitely some breaking and entering.
I mean, she basically didn't get any information.
Right,
as far
but there
as
was
we know.
the whole...
If she had received the information, you would have confirmed that for me just now. You don't know anything about the document, which means either she hasn't told you or she doesn't know anything, and I'm inclined to think it's the latter.
Sure. But you really don't think that the attempted theft is a problem?
Well, the Zents and the Xanathars didn't get any information out of it. We already had the information, so we didn't really lose anything, just a piece of paper.
Can I roll an insight check?
Yeah,
just to see
ahead.
if he's actually being genuine about the fact that they don't care from a breaking and entering, stealing shit standpoint. So that's 19 plus 6, 25.
He is generally unperturbed. What he's saying he believes in.
Okay.
Whether or not that's the case for the others, but that seems to be his impression. But you can also tell that he is more concerned
with whatever the fuck.
Things
yeah. Right. Okay.
than the loss of this particular document, especially given that, like he said, they have the information.
Okay.
So it's not like it was stolen before they could obtain whatever was contained within. It was stolen after the fact. So they're more concerned with what they learned from that particular note than the loss of it.
Okay, cool. All right. So what was this note? What is this information? Is this relevant or?
Well, I would imagine giants appearing across the continent are pretty fucking relevant. Have you heard the stories of the cloud giant castles? Growing up, they were generally like fairy tales to most of us.
I don't
However,
think I really got a whole lot of fairy tales.
Kids would, so you would know, kids would tell these stories. All of you probably at some point have heard some of these stories, with the exception of maybe like Corvid, given the circumstances in which you lived and grew up. But it was a pretty common thing to talk about, like one of those stories that's like grounded in history. So nobody knows exactly how much of it is truth and how much of it is fantasy, but there are stories of centuries ago, cloud giant castles, which were able to fly through the skies, and you'd see them at some points above a city, and maybe sometimes someone would come down and they'd interact with the people, they'd sell goods, they'd trade, they'd do whatnot, and then they'd return to their castles and fly away, essentially. But they haven't been seen in quite a long time. So they've reached a point where they're generally considered fairy tale rather than reality for anyone living today.
Okay.
So the information contained in the note basically presented to us the facts that giants have been seen in a number of settlements across the continent. And it's not simply the hill giants. We're generally used to dealing with those, but we're also seeing a number of storm giants, fire giants, and even cloud giants. Along with these appearances, there's been a significant degree of unrest among various creatures. We've heard of some various raids and creatures terrorizing some of these populations. The cloud giants descending upon certain villages, seeking out who knows what at this point. But indications at this point do not lead us to believe that they're simply visiting. Some of these interactions have become incredibly hostile, and we're very concerned as to what this means for the world at this point.
What would Corvid know about giants in general?
Roll a history check.
History 17.
So you do know, you don't know a lot about giants themselves, but you do know the stories that ages ago, giants and dragons were waging war across the savage frontier, and that much about these battles is basically long forgotten today, but there still exists like a general knowledge for you about this is said to have happened.
How big are giants?
So it depends. You know that some giants can range from anywhere between like 10 feet to sometimes taller, but you've never actually
I've never like seen a giant.
You wouldn't have met a giant. You know, it depends. You know, there are different types. Leosin has just indicated hill giants are the ones that people are most likely to have dealt with at some point. But there are also stone giants and fire giants. Not that, but you're not quite sure. You do know that there are different kinds. That the fact that there are different kinds means that they range in appearance and size and the various abilities that they have, but you don't necessarily know the specifics of those. You do know that hill giants are not quite as intelligent as their various counterparts, and that they usually are run across when people are out in the middle of nowhere, or if they happen to be raiding villages for like various food and crops and whatnot coming out of the hills.
Okay.
But that has become considerably few and far between with you know, a lot of people remaining in cities, having settlements that are walled or within fortresses and whatnot. So there are still stories of it happening, enough for you to know that it is still occurring, but it's not like a regular occurrence. Most people will live their life without ever seeing a giant.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on. There seems to have been a recent sighting. This is not from the note, but there seems to be a recent sighting of a cloud giant castle making its way across the Sword Coast. Last we heard, it seemed like it was about a few hundred miles off from, well, it seemed like within a couple days' time it would likely pass over Nightstone. So we sent a contact out that way, but we've not heard from them yet. I have to say that is a bit concerning.
Do I know where Nightstone is?
Just roll an intelligence check for me.
Fuck. That's 14.
Okay, so I would say that you probably do know where Nightstone is. You've probably never been there, but you do know about a settlement of the name Nightstone that exists basically in like the southeastern corner, just outside the Artificer forest. It's it's just off of the high road, heading southeast from Waterdeep, and it is just outside the forest itself. You've never been there, but you likely would have heard of it, given the fact that as various caravans and people make their way up from locations like Way In or Daggerford, it's not unlikely for some people to break off and head up to Nightstone to take supplies, or just to head in that direction for some reason. In fact, it can be a pretty decent resting place when you're traveling between Nightford and Waterdeep, somewhere to stop just overnight. It's not too far off the road itself, so it doesn't add like a significant delay to your travels if you were to stay there.
Okay.
So there have probably been a few people that you've known. Hell, I would say even some of the people that you've worked with who've provided supplies for you have people that come up from places like Nightstone and Daggerford and everything that have been in and out of there or obtained items from even Waterdeep itself.
Okay.
So it makes sense that they would have been to Nightstone.
Okay. What are you wanting? Are you wanting us to go? Are you wanting me to go check in? Or what?
Well, you said you wanted to learn more, and you are here, so let me make this clear. Andmos's involvement doesn't necessarily mean that you are yourself involved. You may have his journal, you may have his pen, but you're not presently a Harper.
Yeah, I'm aware.
You have the opportunity to join us should you desire and should you prove yourself worthy.
I'm sensing a but here.
But that means you need to find ways in which to contribute to the general cause. This could be a stepping stone to do that. I know you're concerned about Animus and the information in whatever book you're referring to. And that Lillerin maybe did not provide you with any answers. That doesn't strike me as odd at all, given the fact that she's kind of...
Bitch? Yeah.
I was going to say a person that tends to withhold information. We might be able to provide you with assistance on that. We might be able to look into things. But it may take some time. And we also need to be sure that we can trust you with whatever information that is contained within.
Fair enough. So what are you wanting me to do then?
Well, it'd probably be a good idea to have you check in at Nightstone. See what's going on over there. Figure out if the castle's already made its way through, if any altercations occurred, if they just continued on by. If you need a cover, one can easily be arranged.
I mean, are we assuming that it's risky to go and say we're curious about?
I would say likely, yeah. Just traveling through and saying, hey, we're curious, is going to lead certain people in the area potentially to believe, why are they curious? Who are they there for? What are they doing here? So it's always better to have, some sort of reason beyond, hey, we're just in the area and we want to see what's going on. You can't share necessarily the information that you're doing it for us. You can't share that you're affiliated with the Open Lord. This needs to be discreet. We don't want to cause frenzy or panic. At the same time, we don't necessarily want other people knowing exactly how much we know or how little we know.
Yeah. All right. So this cover, who do I need to talk to about that?
Well, there are a number of reasons you could be headed to Nightstone that we could easily manipulate to a cover, but I think the easiest is likely that Lady Nandar has actually issued a call for assistance in Nightstone. Apparently, there's rumors of goblins terrorizing the settlement. So, do what you've been doing. Be a band of strapping young adventurers who are seeking to find fame and fortune.
I'm going to look over at Corvid and all right.
Providing assistance, slaying monsters.
So the name that you said, was that the Open Lord's name, DM? Or
No, he said Lady Nandar, and you actually roll a history check. Let's see.
the hell? Okay. That is 10. So that's only 12.
Okay, so the name is familiar. You do know maybe you're not quite sure if it's an individual or a family, but Nandar is the name of either a person or a family of Waterdehavian nobles. So you do know that. You do know that.
Okay.
And of course, you can always ask Leosin who this person is.
Do I need any documentation as
I
proof of
wouldn't
any of this?
imagine. I wouldn't imagine so, which is why it makes it such an easy cover. She set out the call. Basically, anybody who's willing to try and come and assist and deal with the goblin threat will reportedly receive a reward for handling the situation. You just have to take care of it and then meet with the lady afterwards.
And in the process, check in on whether or not there's been a fucking cloud giant castle passing through.
I mean, that should probably be the easiest information to obtain, don't you think?
Right. I mean, how do we not already know? Feels like it would be hard to
Like
miss.
I said, we haven't had any reports from our contacts. And we haven't seen anything going by in Waterdeep.
These
So maybe they
contacts.
set up in a different direction? Yes.
Should I know who these contacts are?
I don't think that's quite necessary.
Great. Okay. Cool. Wonderfully blind. Is there anything else I need to know about this whole debacle?
Which one? The goblins or the... I'm literally asking as me. Are you asking about the goblins or...
No, I feel like that's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
The cloud
Okay.
giant bullshit.
Okay. Just making sure. I wanted
Yeah.
to make sure I didn't give you the wrong information. Well, we're not exactly sure what the motivations are, but it is rather concerning. We have heard of some groups of giants presenting a threat while others seem to just be passing on through. We don't know what this means for our future here on the Sword Coast, as well as across Faerun itself.
Okay.
We do know that in the past, the giants have presented a significant threat. Our information here in the library, as well as in Candlekeep, confirms that. So, the lady would rather we be proactive than sit and wait for something to happen.
Once we come up with any information, should I be in contact with you?
Sending a missive my way might be significantly helpful, but I'm not sure what it is you'll find, so that's probably for the best.
Do you have a preferred way of doing that?
I mean, you could send a letter. Or see if you can maybe persuade Lady Nandar to send some information my way. She doesn't necessarily have to know what that information entails, but given the fact that she is the High Steward, she would have the means to send information back along the high road to Waterdeep.
Okay. I guess we'll keep you informed since I don't know who else to contact.
Well, I don't know exactly who to have you contact at this point. Like I said, we had some minor contacts heading in that area, but we've not heard back from them.
Do you want me to check in on that?
I imagine that you'll find out what you need to know when you get to Nightstone. I'd rather hear directly from you than hear about what's going on with you through these contacts. So we're cutting out a middleman.
All right. Well, I mean, I hope you guys are aware that everyone in the party is going to know about this.
Know about what? The giants? Well, I would imagine so.
Okay, because I mean, Corvid's standing right here, so I can't exactly hide it from them.
Well, I assume since you brought them along that they already knew.
they know a lot of it, but I wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to bite me in the ass later.
I can neither confirm nor deny whether or not that will do as you stated. But the expectation is that the information you share with your friends, you're vouching for them. Should they present us any issues in the future, well, that can be taken care of.
All
We're
right.
operating on good faith right now. You've shown your interest in participating, in joining us, in providing assistance. I'm going to trust that your intentions are not misguided.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I have a million questions, but that's fine. Corvid, you got any other questions?
No. I don't really know what's going on. So I think that we should probably talk to everybody when we get back.
Yeah.
And make sure that this is something that we want to do. I know you do, so I think we should probably talk to everyone and make sure.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of conversing, I'm sure. Well, if you don't hear from us, you can assume that we're heading out there. So.
Fair enough.
Thanks for your time. Is that how this works? I don't know how these formal gatherings work. Clearly, I'm a little underdressed. By the way, what are you wearing?
My robes? He's genuinely confused by this question.
I mean, you seem to be dressed very differently than everyone else here.
Well, I'm not exactly an administrative official, if you can't tell.
Yeah, what do you do?
I do a lot of things. I'm a harper.
Fair enough. Okay. I assume you're going to be here for a while?
I might. Just depends on how things go along moving forward.
Okay. So do I just address a letter to you at the Open Lord's Palace of Waterdeep? Is that how this
Certainly.
works? Okay, perfect.
It's relatively public knowledge that I'm a friend of the Open Lord. How we're affiliated with one another is not so much clear, but that's the way we like it.
Fair enough. Okay. Thanks. I think. If there's nothing else, I guess we'll head out.
All right. He moves over to open the door since he locked it. Opens it just a crack and then turns to you and just says, "Remember, discretion." And then opens the door the rest of the way.
Okay. I will not say anything and I will walk out the door.
All right. He closes the door behind you and you hear the lock click.
Okay. Do I note, like, can I see if there's anyone else in the hallway?
There's no one in the hallway at this point. Again, this is a series of guest quarters in the northern wing. So either people are in their rooms or it's unlikely that people would just be walking back through this. The only people that would be over on this side that in this particular hall are there because they are staying in one of these rooms. And presently there's no one moving through the hall.
I guess we can head back to the Grey Vale. Unless there was anything else that you wanted to do, Corvid.
They're muted.
Yep.
Sorry. No, there's nothing else I need to do.
All right. Well, I guess we can head back to the apothecary.
I feel like Finn and I are just like huddled around the sending stone, just waiting to hear.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we can tell them that we don't need to do any stupid shit at the cemetery.
It's no fun.
I mean, it's not like say you can't do stupid shit, but don't necessarily need to.
So are you guys back now?
Sure.
What happened?
Nothing.
Met with Leosin, who's in.
You got in.
Yeah. Turns out just asking to talk to people kind of works. You know?
You also rolled really high on that persuasion check.
Yeah, I know that. But
Neri's genuinely confused that people helped her.
right.
Now, when is this nice?
Insurance fraud. Well, good news. Nobody regarding the Harpers or the Open Lord is after you, Finn. They know you stole shit, but they don't really care because you clearly don't know anything, or as far as they know, you don't know anything about it, and you didn't give it to the Zentarim, so apparently nobody cares. Or at least he doesn't care. So, yay. You probably don't have to dress like this if you don't want to, I guess. But so apparently the shit that you stole was information on fucking giants along the Sword Coast. Specifically, like, apparently there's been a sighting over near Nightstone, and the Harpers are more or less recruiting us to go and check it out, see what's going on. They haven't heard from their contacts, so.
So they just want us to go check it out?
Yeah. We've got a cover that should theoretically make us money in the process, so.
Is there anything that's going to theoretically go wrong along the way? Or is it just checking it out?
They don't have enough information. They don't know anything. Well, they don't know enough. So really, right now, it's determining whether or not the Cloud Giant Castle showed up in Nightstone. And because they don't know if these Cloud Giant, or if the giants seen across Faerun are hostile or not. But they're concerned that they might be. So we could go check it out. There's also a goblin problem near this town, which is serving as our cover as hired help to deal with the goblin problem. And we can get paid in the process, I think.
It sounds cool. Sounds sort of sketchy, but I mean...
Right, but have you seen this city? Like...
True.
So,
Remy chimes in from the back. You are working for a fucking secret organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't expect it to be sketchy. That's on you. Sorry, I just finished my sentence and all of a sudden it cuts to Ollie's screen and it's just blank with no one there and I'm like, what the fuck? I have to go AFK for a second. My computer's definitely gonna die, so I need to go grab my power cord.
Okay.
We'll try not to die in your absence.
But yeah, so that's kind of the deal. Questions, comments, smart remarks? Other than Peanut Gallery, Remy in the corner.
I mean, I think it sounds like a fun thing.
Yeah, I mean, might as well just try. Happens.
We don't have anything else going on right now.
Finn?
Don't know how I feel about giants.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that from your perspective of much shorter. Yes. To be clear, we're not going to like
Fight the giants, right?
fight the
Just wanna
giants.
see if there's giants there.
Yeah, to see if they ever showed up. The theory was that the last time that they were seen, they were outside of Nightstone, like a couple hundred miles. Like that was probably the trajectory that they were heading to, and the Harpers haven't heard anything from their contacts near near Nightstone. So they're curious as to whether or not anything showed up.
How far is that from here?
I have no idea. Once she sits back down, we can ask. But it's like to the southeast, outside of some fucking wood. I don't remember.
And we would get paid.
We would get paid to take care of the goblin problem, which is also serving as our cover.
Mm-hmm.
What do we know about? I don't know anything about goblins.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
You assume you don't know anything about goblins, but you could roll a nature check to determine if you do.
there you go.
And I would allow
Yeah,
specifically
6.
Corvid to do it. 6? Yeah. We'll say. Shit. Just hold on one second, y'all. Seriously? Am I a fucking dumbass? Yes, I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass,
And
y'all.
confirm.
Yep. Dumbassery. I can't believe I didn't do that. What a fucking moron. 166. Oh, I did do it. I'm just an idiot who's apparently visually impaired. You know that goblins are small, mean little creatures
Mm-hmm.
that tend to live in dank, dark places, and that's about it.
Are they magic?
You don't know. Okay. You just know that they're small, mean little creatures. They're evil that live in dank, dark places. I would imagine that living as you did out in the middle of nowhere, you would probably know, you would have been told to like avoid caves. Goblins tend to live in caves, but that's about the extent of what you know.
In reality, like in my brain, I know what, like I know, but like,
yeah,
I'm imagining just light sensitive little weedaholics.
Monsters?
Yeah, little light sensitive weed monsters.
Sorry.
dank memes, y'all.
Well, Ben, what's this face you got?
I was just thinking.
Your old lady face. Except you're not wearing the makeup anymore, so technically not, but
They
I'm still
haven't-
making that comment anyway.
I haven't left yet.
Oh, I know. I was just making a statement that Remy just called you an old lady.
We're getting paid.
For the goblin thing.
Yeah.
Not for the giants.
No, but the goblins are serving as the cover. So convenient.
Yeah, I think we should do the goblin thing.
But
Yeah.
not the other thing.
I mean, you get paid. So, yeah. I mean, we're going to go, like, we have to keep up the cover. So, yeah, we're probably going to deal with some goblins and get paid.
Okay, let's just do it. Let's do it all.
Like, you do realize that if you're working for a secret organization whose ultimate goal is like the betterment of humanity, that you're probably not going to get paid for like a lot of things. Doing things for
You
the
work
good of
for a
everyone
new
generally does
organization.
not result in getting paid.
Working for a nonprofit.
They just want you to do it because you're being nice.
Not that nice.
You're in the wrong business then.
I am.
Anyway. So you guys are fucking off to Nightstone then?
You been?
No. Been past it. Never bothered to go there though.
Yeah, you want to come with? First time for
What the
everything.
fuck kind of interest I would have in like a goddamn fucking fortified settlement? They're dumb as fuck. There's nothing fun there.
Oh, giants.
It's probably just like Phandalin.
Cloud giants. That's all I'm saying.
Cloud giants.
Are you trying to actually persuade her?
Sure.
Roll a persuasion check.
It's a 15. I only rolled an 11, so.
I mean, I guess.
Look, if you're bored, Cloud
I'm
giants can be
always
interesting.
bored.
Right. Well, when do we want to head out?
What time is it? Is it
Wait,
still
how
early?
long did we decide it's going to take to get there?
They were
Oh, yeah.
only gone for like an hour or so.
Oh, it's
Oh.
not very far at all. Okay.
No. I said you were only gone for an hour or so.
Oh.
Because someone asked how late it was. So it's still like the middle of the day at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good question. There was a question earlier while you were gone. How far away?
Far, yeah.
You're a nary roll. Well, you already rolled to figure out if you knew about Nightstone. You're not quite sure.
Great. Where do I go to get that information?
You could go talk to like a merchant who might run out of that area. Again, it's likely that some of the supplies that you actually receive from people come from Waterdeep, so like you know generally where it's at. But again, your mind is like seeing it on a map, shortest distance between 2 points. So you know that kind of thing, but you don't know how long it would actually take you to travel there on a road, if you get what I mean.
Oh, we could see if there's a caravan. And find out how long it is on a caravan.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
I mean, you could also like sold some shit and bought yourself a fucking cart and horses, but
Whatever.
But then we wouldn't have the cloak of billowing and the staff of bird calls, which is more.
Yeah. Who doesn't want a billowing cloak?
Exactly.
I mean, I do.
Remy doesn't wear cloaks.
Probably because she doesn't have a cloak of billowing.
Yeah.
She actually just doesn't wear much.
Should we head out today? Since we still
Well-
have should we go see if there's a caravan?
You can go see there's a caravan. If I leave without talking to Tom, I'll be beat up the next time I come into town. So maybe,
He'll probably just have his wife chew you out.
probably, but you know,
I-
it's scary enough. She's small and tiny, so when she gets angry, it's terrifying.
I have to go grab something out of the garage real fast. I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Also, if you want, we could get some like food to go. That way, you can also say goodbye.
I
I
don't
get
think
some
I want anything
food at
from
the
there
bowels
again.
of the earth. Mystery meat for the road.
Terrifying.
All right. Well, so what are you guys doing?
I guess I'm gonna go see if I can. Is there like like over in like the South Ward?
Mm-hmm.
Would there be like since it's all made up of like caravan and merchant groups that aren't in the trades ward, would there be like an established schedule of arrivals?
I don't know if there'd be an established schedule, but you could probably easily make your way over to the South Ward and locate any one of a number of caravan masters and see if they're willing. Because even if they're not like passenger caravans,
Yeah,
there's still like various merchant caravans that for the right price, you could probably hitch a ride with them.
okay.
I don't think you would know if there's necessarily like an actual fucking like list of arrivals and departures because you wouldn't necessarily be super familiar with that.
Right. I guess I'll go over to the South Ward if anyone
Okay.
wants to come with, and I will see if I can find out. See if I can find someone who runs one of these like supply caravans or whatever,
Girl, come on.
which I'm sure is going to be a
Okay.
wonderful walk down memory lane.
So again, y'all are about here. So you can easily move through the various side streets and just make your way down the high road itself through the South Ward. And your best bet would probably to, again, head over here somewhere around the South Gate and check and see if there's anybody. Go ahead and roll an investigation check, Neri.
Like an 11.
So you look around and you see a number of people that are working, loading and unloading things from various carts that have made their way in through the South Gate. You can see them moving into the city, as well as some that are moving out beyond. Presently, no one strikes you particularly as being in charge. So you haven't been able to successfully identify specifically a caravan master, but you can see a number of people that are clearly working on these caravan lines.
Okay, I'll go up to one of them.
All right. We'll say the person that's closest to you is a half-orc man who's at present offloading some various crates of one of these wagons just off to the northeast side of the high road.
Okay. I'll go up to him and hi. I'm at a bit of a loss, which seems to be a common theme for me. I am looking to purchase travel out to Nightstone, and I'm just not sure who to talk to. Do you have a caravan master around, or
you want to go talk to old Adama?
Adama?
Yeah, and he points at off in a direction, and it's kind of crowded for a second, and then just momentarily the crowd disperses, and you can see an older gnomish woman that's standing on a series of crates, providing directions to certain individuals, telling them what to do. She's holding like basically a clipboard and checking things off, and or basically ordering people around.
Brilliant.
She could probably help you out with that. Just be patient with her. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. And he goes back to his work.
And I will walk over to her general area and wait until she seems to have like a free moment so I'm not interrupting a conversation.
Okay, so standing over there, you can see that she's just going to continue doing whatever it is she's doing, providing specific directions and orders to the various people in front of her. There's really no stopping. You can tell that she's managing like a number of different supply lines at this point. So she's just going to keep going.
All right, cool. I'll interrupt her then. Adama, can I have a word? I know that you're very busy.
So she hears you say it, and without looking away from the papers in front of her, like, I haven't got all day. What is it?
I'm looking to purchase travel for six. Is it six? Are there 6 of us? I think there's 6 of us. 6 to Nightstone, and I'm curious as to whether or not you know of a caravan that I could purchase travel with.
I've got a caravan. Something that could be arranged.
When does it depart?
Well, we've got a caravan leaving tomorrow morning.
Brilliant. How much is that going to cost us?
Depends. Where are you looking to go?
Just out to Nightstone.
Nightstone? Well, I don't know that I've got a caravan that's specifically headed to Nightstone, but passed by the road up to it so we could leave you there.
Brilliant.
So that's... She pauses for a second, looks up, but not at anyone. She's just kind of staring off, and about 40 miles. So let's see, 40 miles, 6 people. Oh shit, Link. He just jumped up on top of the bookshelf.
I'll come get him.
By the TV.
I can come get him. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. It's like 6 people. I could probably do that for you for about well, I mean, like about 2 gold a person. It's not going to be super comfortable.
It's not that expensive.
You know what? You willing to help out a little bit? I might lower the price for you.
Absolutely. I have like 5 side quests.
Yeah, what does that mean?
She tells Neri, you can help out and load some of the crates and such we've got going out, setting out tomorrow. Cut down on our load time. I'm sure we could get you there for a gold a piece. Yeah, 6 gold pieces. All right. So that about settles it then. We'll have you go ahead and set out. Help load some of these crates. Make sure she provides you with a small slip of paper. I don't know if.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Just making sure. She writes something down, tears it off, provides you with a slip of paper that basically provides you with instructions of what boxes you're supposed to load onto what. And she's provided like brief descriptions of like the carts and the boxes themselves, so you know what needs to be done. And then goes back to looking at the clipboard and says, well, we leave at dawn tomorrow, so.
All right, brilliant. We will be here before dawn to help load.
All right, just find me and check in.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Yep.
And I will piece back to the apothecary. All right, so we got passage for 6 on a caravan to Nightstone, leaving at dawn tomorrow. We just have to help load crates.
Okay.
Nice. How long is it gonna take?
It's 40 miles. Did they say how long it was going to take? I might have missed that.
She did not tell you how many days. She just said it's about 40 miles passage, and that they would drop you off basically at the junction heading up to Nightstone, because they're not headed that way themselves.
Yeah. So I don't know how long it's going to take, but they'll drop us off at the crossroads for. But it's about 40 miles to that crossroads. So I'd imagine at least a couple of days. But yeah, we can go pick up like rations and stuff like that. I'd imagine it's probably going to function much like our previous trip.
Yeah. Probably. Okay. So do we need to get there like really early then to help load stuff?
Yep, before dawn.
Okay.
My brain, my own brain is going, just don't go to bed. You're up at dawn anyway.
Sleep on the caravan after.
That's my current state. But I figure we can go pick up some supplies if we need it, and grab some food, and then meet them there in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like I have like, I don't know if I took these notes correctly, but I think I have 9 rations.
Yeah, I mean, we should get there in 9 days. 40 miles.
In less
That
than 9
shouldn't
days.
even
Yeah.
take like 2 days, right?
Yeah,
It will take 2 days.
Yeah.
so you should be fine with that.
Okay. I don't think I really need to get anything then.
Well, this would be your chance to either change your armor or
Yeah.
anything like that, if you wanted to. Like when we were in Phandalin, I went and I bought new armor, which is why Yama has regular leather armor. So if you wanted to do that, you could. Or if you wanted to go find different weapons or whatever.
Yeah, let's go look at weapons.
Stabby things.
Yeah.
Corvid, did you want to come with us?
I'll come with you. I think I have everything I need, but
No.
I need some other things.
So, I mean, I assume that I would know of not just a blacksmith, but someone who actually sold.
Yeah, you
Weapons.
could find something easily.
Okay, cool. So I'll take us there, wherever there is.
Okay.
And
what are you looking for?
I don't know. Finn?
I don't know. Like, I don't really know what would be available. Like, are there, like, better, like, daggers or something? Like, can you just, like, upgrade the same kind of weapon?
You might be able to. It just depends on what you're seeking.
I don't really know. I just want to see what options there are.
Or something with a better modifier, maybe?
Yeah.
So are you looking for something that's enchanted?
Sure.
That's going to cost you a lot of money. I can tell you more than you have presently.
Ugh.
I think that the bigger issue right now is that she might not understand how that what the hell that means. Like what a +1 modifier or whatever entails. You know what I mean? I think that's
so. There are daggers and such out that can give you like a +1 to attack and whatnot, but those tend to be enchanted items and they're very hefty, like several in price, like several hundred gold.
Mm.
They're
well,
not.
Maybe I don't need anything from here then.
Otherwise, it's a standard dagger. And you do have your repeating shot on your crossbow, so keep that in mind.
Nice.
Or your long or short bow. Short bow?
Yeah.
But most weapons, like a dagger, is generally going to be a dagger unless it's made from some sort of special material, or if it's silvered. But otherwise, if you were to go seek out a dagger, your dagger is going to deal the same kind of damage as your present dagger, unless it's like enchanted or magical or something.
Okay, well then I don't need anything from this place.
Okay. I didn't know if anyone else wanted to pick up a different weapon. Like I know that you've got that great axe, Corvid. Yeah. But I didn't know if there was anything else that you wanted to look for.
What about a shield?
As a paladin, do you already have one?
I don't know.
I feel like you do.
I have one because I'm
I do have one. Just kidding. I already have a shield.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which I don't think technically you can wield with your great axe, but
I think great axes are typically two-handed.
Yeah, so technically that would drop your AC when you're using your great axe.
Okay.
Because you can't utilize a shield while you're also using a two-handed weapon. So just keep in mind that when you are using your great axe, your AC drops by 2.
Okay. Let's see. What other fun weapons are there?
I mean, you have a lot of options in terms of the weapons you choose to wield, because you have proficiency as a paladin with martial weapons as well as simple weapons. So like there are warhammers, there are rapiers, there are mauls, there are pikes, lances, halberds.
Yeah, there's like a whole fucking table of them.
Like there's all of them. Okay. Well, I think I'm pretty happy with my great axe right now.
It just depends on what you're technically proficient in and such, but you're proficient in all simple weapons and martial weapons. So, and of the like weapons that are available to you, I will say the great axe is the one that's likely to do the most damage. So
cool. And I have special chainmail, so I don't think I need anything else. I have chainmail and my ethereal chainmail.
Yeah, so theoretically you could wear the mithril, and then you could sell the other one if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah. Can I sell that here?
yeah, you can sell it.
Okay.
So if we'll say that you guys are easily able to find it's basically going to be a coster, because the costers are the ones that like buy and sell armor and weapons. And again, it's a Lion Shield coster. They're all over Faerun. It's a trading company, so why wouldn't it be? The person at the counter goes ahead and looks over the chainmail that you have and makes you an offer of 45 gold.
Okay, thanks. I'll take it.
Okay. So go ahead and mark the chainmail off of your inventory and then add 45 gold.
Okay. $45, so 90 gold. Whoa. Cool. I think that's all. What else do I have? A trident. Hand axe. Can I sell my hand axe too?
Yeah. So hand axe is selling it used. It's gonna they'll give you like 3 gold pieces for it.
Okay. Cool. Great, thank you.
Yep.
That's all I got.
I mean, I think I'm good. I don't know if there's anything else that anyone else wanted to look at.
I just did want to take an opportunity to remind y'all about encumbrance. Seems like a good point. Remember, you have limits on how much you can carry, and that's going to be your strength times 15. I think. Wait.
Your strength modifier times 15?
Hold on 1 second. Strength score multiplied by 15, which is the weight in pounds that you can carry.
15 times.
So if your strength is 15 and you times it by 15, you can carry 225 pounds. So you do need to be able to keep an eye on how the weight of some of those items that you're carrying, which you should be able to Google.
Okay.
And it's generally high enough that most characters don't usually have to worry about it. But also, you can't just like take an entire fucking dragon horde with you. That's why encumbrance is there.
Fine.
All right. So what are you guys doing now?
Um,
Anybody else need to buy and sell anything?
I'm good. I got staff and bird calls. I'm good.
Remember that only has a certain number of charges a day.
Yeah.
I figure we can go find food.
Yeah, don't you have to go say goodbye to whatever the fuck his name is?
Tom. Yeah.
Rose.
Yep, it's just Royce. But I figure we can go find real food first if you want.
Cool. Sounds good.
So I figure we'll just go back to the same place that we went last night.
Meals, 5 silver pieces.
Yep.
Get some good food because we don't know what we're walking into.
Pretty much. It's like getting ready for excavation. Like, I'm gonna eat sandwiches for the next 6 weeks. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat cake today because I won't get to for another 3 months.
And then I will at least head over to the bowels of the earth. I don't know if anyone else is gonna come, but
I'll come with you. I think it's interesting.
I'll come too.
Are we all just going to the tavern?
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Is it scary?
Okay.
Are you coming with us?
Yes.
Not sure it's your speed, but yeah, sure.
The fuck does that mean?
I think that you typically want a higher caliber of everything.
Everything.
But you're welcome to come.
I mean, just because I like expensive shit doesn't mean I can't deal with shitty shit.
It's like a fan for a while.
Wouldn't you prefer to have like nice shit over not nice shit? Like, just as a general question, yeah. Like, everybody wants something that's nicer.
I don't
But that
know.
doesn't
After 2 weeks,
deal with not nice shit. You guys are drinking that fucking whiskey. Clearly, you're okay, and you can deal with not nice shit sometimes. But
Not
if someone
wrong.
was like, hey, here's this bottle of like 500 platinum whiskey. Do you want it? I'll give it to you for free. You're going to jump the fuck on that. I know you would.
Okay, I wasn't. Jesus fuck. Sorry.
is Remy coming with us?
That was my one question.
Let's go. She just marches out the door.
Fuck.
After her, then.
All right. I guess we'll head over.
All right.
Let's go.
You make your way over to the bowels of the earth, just about 20 minutes from the Grey Vale. And it is just as dank and dark and slightly sticky as you remember. Tom is, as usual, behind the bar. He's chatting with some of the regulars over at the counter itself. So he sees you enter and just kind of does the whole and then continues talking to the people that are at the bar.
Cool. I will probably just go sit at the bar.
Okay.
And I will wave over a glass of whatever the fuck.
Ah, yes, our specialty.
Yep. Whatever the fuck. Hit me.
He pulls a glass of very, very dark, slightly more viscous alcohol.
Viscous.
A little bit more like oil than water.
Yeah. And presents it in a glass in front of you.
And I will drink it.
I want some of that too.
The house sludge. All right.
Yeah, please.
And he he'll set a glass down in front of you as well.
Thanks.
To each his own.
Whatever you sell this stuff.
Well, just because I sell it doesn't mean I'm going to drink it.
And those are two very different ideas.
You have just like regular ale or something.
He's got the stuff that got Yama fucked up.
We've got what passes as ale in these parts.
Yep.
I guess I'll have one of those.
All right.
Thank you.
Yama.
Pours you a glass of unidentifiable ale.
Yama, you should definitely try this one. And I will like slide my glass over.
I'm gonna give you a look.
Listen, we've got a night before we gotta go anywhere. Like,
We got
That's true. All right. I'll take a sip of it very carefully.
Peer pressure.
Again, it's oddly thick and maybe even a little bit chewy at times.
Oh,
Oh no.
not very well filtered.
That's so gross.
yeah, it's gross.
just be like, thanks. And slide it.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that I did make him capable of mixing a good drink, but I just don't ever ask for it, so.
Well, and this is not his own creation.
Nope.
And he explains this to you. Got a regular that's trying his hand at home brewing. Bought some brewer supplies. Pays me 100 gold pieces a month to keep this in stock. So
Hey, you know what?
Well, maybe he'll get better at it.
yeah, that seems pretty unlikely considering he's been doing this for the last 5 years, and this is still what he comes up with. But hey, I guess thanks for the positivity.
Chances are, if he got any better, he wouldn't be selling it here. So,
That's very true. And he wouldn't be paying me to sell it.
Nope.
Yeah, he doesn't make any money off this. It's just for fun. So
But you make money off of it, so who cares?
yeah, so you can drink it.
Gotta respect the grind. Yes, I'll say that in character.
Well, we're heading out of town again, so figured I'd come and say hi and bye again,
Well, kind of wish you could have stuck around for longer. Would have been nice to have you here again, but
we'll be back, I'm sure.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Get paid, yeah.
I understand that. And he nods at the glass.
And I will throw the rest of the glass back.
Roll. Need to roll. Give me a con check.
Ooh, 7.
With
All of us?
Oh no.
No, I threw it back.
Oh.
this stuff is hitting you.
Yes.
It's hitting you hard.
Good shit. It's still shit.
It is shit. That's part of the reason why.
Yep.
You're basically drinking ethanol that's somehow brown, thick, and chewy.
Yum.
Remy kind of side eyes you while you shoot it back, and goes, yeah, no. Can I get a Tom Collins?
Oh. I told you. This was not your speed.
Why would I drink that when I have other options?
Exactly, that's my point.
But that doesn't mean it's not my speed. It's just I'm making a choice. Tom Collins.
What is a Tom Collins? I've never had one in real life.
It's like
A
gin
gin?
and lemon.
Oh.
Gin, lemon juice, soda water,
So it's like a gin
sometimes other things.
and tonic.
Served in a Collins glass.
Served in a fancy glass, so it gets a special name. That's basically it.
I see.
Sometimes there are other things. It depends on the places you go. Different restaurants will have their own version of a Tom Collins. But Tom Collins is a pretty standard drink most places.
Cool.
Well, I see why you like this place. It's got ambiance.
Yeah, are your elbows wet on the bar yet?
Your feet.
Oh, my elbows are not touching the bar.
Part of the
They're no
experience.
better than
Part of the
Yeah,
experience.
she kind of like holds up the sleeve of one of her like robes and is like, this is dry clean only. Fuck that experience. So no, I'm good.
I will take another one of those. Whatever the fuck.
Oh, sludge.
Yeah.
The house sludge.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Tom pours you another.
I'm
No,
gonna
we'll drink it.
and have another one too.
Fresh from the La Brea tar pits.
It's on the label, man.
All right. If Corvid, if you finish your first one, I also need you to roll a Constitution check.
Oh my god, my dice jumped on top of one of my other dice.
That counts as like a natural 40.
14.
Doesn't. What is it?
14.
You're doing considerably better, despite the fact that this stuff is basically tar.
It's just like drinking liquid bread that's a little bit alcoholic, right?
Well, I can feel.
Oh, it's more than a little bit alcoholic. It's definitely very alcoholic, but it's not really beer. Again, it's basically ethanol.
I'm feeling like this stuff is like someone left out like a jar of like Everclear and then dropped some like hunks of bread in it and then just let that sit overnight.
Gross.
Gross.
Someone's Saturday starter mixed with some
Ew.
I imagine it's rye bread as well.
just kind of throwing everything together. Let's see what happens.
Some sourdough.
It's been back in their closet for like a month fermenting.
Oh,
Anyway, should I roll for that second glass?
Yes, you should.
What's a 13?
With
A disadvantage?
yeah, because you're already like
Still a 13.
okay. You're feeling marginally better than you were a little bit ago. Maybe it's like, hair of the dog, but at the same time, just because it's sitting well with you now doesn't mean it will later.
Nope.
Food?
Huh?
Did we eat food already, or are we eating food here?
You already ate. Yeah, we ate at the other place. We got real food, and then we came here.
Mm.
What time is it at this point?
Since you actually went out and got real food and then came over here, it's in the later evening, probably approaching 10 o'clock. And the time that you've been here for at least like, I would say like a half hour at the very least.
We should probably get ready and go to bed, because then we have to get up at like the butt crack of dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go for me, but let's try. You guys might have to shake me awake.
Yeah. So I guess by the time you're gonna head the fuck out.
Well, be sure to pop in the next time you're around.
Of course. Where else would I go? I don't know standards.
Clearly.
It's so nice.
Apparently neither of us do.
I'll see you later. And start walking back.
All right.
And then when we get there, I'm gonna keep walking over to the City of the Dead.
Okay.
Kind of unaware of what anyone else is doing.
All right.
I don't know if anyone's bothering to follow me or not.
I'll go with you.
oh.
I like dead people.
So as you approach, you can see the those of you that are with her now, the watchtowers, and hear the sounds of the patrols moving past. It is, again, a walled cemetery. So those of you that are shorter just see wall. But Neri, being tall enough, can see over the walls themselves, because they're not super tall. All right. What are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm probably just gonna go stand at the gate.
Okay.
And flick Eyes of the Grave, because I'm lazy as fuck and drunk. So.
All right. You don't see anything. Nothing looks amiss.
Okay.
Nothing stands out to you as odd. It's a quiet night in the City of the Dead.
Cool. Let's go back.
Oh, wait, what did we just do, Neri?
Yeah, I don't know if Eyes of the Grave has anything to it, really.
Not really, no.
I was just checking for, undead things. Kind of my job. So, sort of. Not really? I don't know. It was Anwis's job, so now it's sort of my job.
I see.
But no, normally I would actually go in there, but fuck that. And normally I'd actually be in there for quite a while. There's a reason why I don't like getting up early. Oh, gotta get up early tomorrow. But everything's fine right now. So,
All right. Well,
All right. You make your way back to the Gray Vale. What are you doing? Are you gonna all head to bed for the night?
collapsing. Yep.
I'm gonna try and find a lot of water and drink it before I go to bed.
So, you do know, given the last couple of days and the time of year, that dawn is at about just before 6:30.
Okay.
So, because it is
How are we gonna wake up in time?
I have no idea. I don't know how anyone.
and you have to be there early.
So we gotta be there around 6.
Should we like sleep watch? Like the good old days?
Probably good.
Yeah.
I guess I'll stay awake to the first one.
I'll
Okay.
do the second one.
Okay.
Are there
Well,
three?
All right. So we'll say, since there's nothing actually that you're keeping an eye out for, you're just sleeping in shifts to guarantee that you don't oversleep and miss your caravan. I want each person to roll a Constitution save.
16.
20.
A second. Natural 20 plus 4. You want me to roll with disadvantage?
No, just roll con saves. Straight con saves. And this is just to see if you can actually manage to keep yourself awake to wake up the next person and so on. So you all rolled sufficiently high enough that the sleeping in shifts, the plan works. And you all are awake. Well, we'll say at like 5:30 if you're going to head over there at 6. Or be there at 6, I mean.
Sounds good.
Okay, right.
And as we get ready to head out, I'm gonna douse all the lights and lock everything back up, I guess. And see if I can find the cat.
You do not see the cat anywhere at the moment.
And so I'll just kind of like as everyone's leaving, I'll just kind of like yell back at the door, be like, "All right, peace out, fucker. Keep chasing the mice. I'll see you later, since I know that you're probably in here or whatever. So anyway, bye." And I will close the door and I will lock everything back up.
All right. So you're locked up. You can make your way down to the south ward. As you approach the south gate, things do grow a good bit louder as the streets are no longer relatively quiet and deserted. You see people moving around between various carts, and you can see just in the same position as before, on top of a series of crates, is Adama. She's once again issuing orders, and for a second she looks up and she sees you and you couldn't have been here earlier?
Well, we're here now, so what do you need?
Get this stuff on.
You got it. And I'll start helping.
And she doesn't give you any more direction than that. She just gestures to a ton of crates and boxes and baskets of various goods and tells you to get them on the carts. And she doesn't even really indicate which carts. So she's assuming that you'll have enough sense to get them where to go.
Bold assumption, but sure. I will see if I can just kind of follow what other people are doing.
Okay. You can easily see a number of people working for the caravans that are heading over to the exact same area that she indicated, picking stuff off and loading them onto carts. Roll a perception check.
23.
Okay. So after a second of watching, you can see there is a little bit of a system in place as to where what goes and how they're arranging things into the carts to ensure that nothing is like damaged during the travels. But beyond just the arrangement of items in the carts, it doesn't seem that anything has to go into a specific cart. It just needs to be loaded.
Cool.
So
I will tell all of you that. Just be like, we just got to get this shit in the carts and make sure that nothing gets busted on the way. But there's no general outline as to where things go. So.
Okay. I'm gonna start trying to move some of like the lighter things.
all right, so you spend the next half hour or so loading stuff up. It's not exactly pleasant work. I mean, you're all tired. Everybody roll a constitution check now, because let's see how hungover you all are. 10.
Say 15.
17.
Okay, so anybody who rolled a 15 or higher is feeling fine. Anybody who rolled between a 12 and a 15, you feel okay. At times your stomach kind of rolls a little bit and you're like, ooh, burps a little maybe for a second, but otherwise you're chill. Under a 12, like a 12 to a 9, you've got just this like dull ache in the back of your skull, and your stomach is just a little sour. But I don't think anybody rolled below a 9, so you're not outright sick. You rolled a 1?
Rolled a 1, so it's a total of
You
4.
had one sip of my drink.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I'm allergic to alcohol.
Maybe you are.
Something about the sludge really
Fucked you up.
exactly. You're like, I'm pretty sure I have food poisoning, you guys. Pretty sure I'm dying. It just did not interact with like your body chemistry, and your gastrointestinal tract is rebelling.
Oh,
I
God.
will cast Lesser Restoration on her.
I mean, alcohol is technically a poison, so.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll say since you rolled
It helps a little bit. Yeah.
a natural 1, it helps. You still don't feel so great, but it helps. At least somewhat. Every now and then you have to stop and be like, deep breaths.
Remind me not to give you alcohol, Yama.
Ever again.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
You never roll well when it comes to alcohol.
I don't.
Okay. So again, you all with these contributing to the general work managed to get everything loaded up. As you start finishing up with the last few crates, you can hear Adama's voice calling out, telling everyone to get to their posts to check in with their carriage drivers and to get ready to set out, and that they'll be leaving in 5.
Do we know who that is for us?
Nope.
Okay, I guess I will go bug her.
Okay.
So, who should we be in contact with? I'm unaware of who our specific caravan driver is.
Real quick,
Well,
I'm gonna be listening, but I need to feed my dogs because they're staring at me with like such pain in their eyes right now. But I'm listening.
Away into nothingness. Okay, she looks at the papers that she's holding, kind of flips through a couple things and goes, 6 of you. Wow. Well, we can put you on card 8.
Perfect.
Should be plenty of room. We're kind of got a light load in there. Just seems to be some textiles and whatnot. So you should all fit. So go, she just gestures without looking back up to you. Go check in cart 8. Looks like we've got kind of like looks at her own handwriting for a second. It's like
Smudged handwriting on hand.
yeah. She kind of takes a quill for a second, like kind of like does the whole thing where she's like drawing in the letters more clearly because it's not very present what it is. Yeah, go check in with Darren over there. He should be card 8.
Perfect. And I will head the direction that she's pointing.
Okay.
And
the carts are basically in a line at this point, so it should be fairly easy for you to indicate because it's literally the number of the cart in the caravan. So.
Okay. So I'll head over to the cart. Do I see anyone that looks like they're sort of in charge of the cart?
There are about 2 people that are shuffling around the cart at the moment, making sure everything is secure. One person individual and in particular does seem to be heading towards the front of the cart to climb up on, get themselves a seat. And you're not sure if they're going to be the one taking the reins, but there are just 2 people.
And I will go up to the one that looks like he's getting in the front. Are you Darren?
He looks over at you, and you do see it's a human man in his mid-30s. His face is kind of just a little leathery from always being out in the sun. He's wearing some just general work clothes, and he goes, yep.
Adama told us to make our way over to this particular cart. And since we're going to be riding in it to the junction for Nightstone.
Okay.
Leave that kitty. Go on.
Okay. I will. You good if we hop in?
And he just kind of goes,
okay, cool. Nice to meet you. And I will gesture to everyone to jump in, I guess.
He just nods at you and takes his place on the front bench, taking up the reins to get ready to go. He's a man of few words. The other gentleman that is with this cart in particular says, sure to mind your feet. We've got some quality goods back there. Don't want to step on anything, crush anything.
Absolutely. I'll jump
And
in.
you can see there's a series of various textiles that are bound together, as well as a number of carpets that are rolled up and secured. But by and large, this cart is appears relatively empty compared to the others because it's not holding any like large crates or anything.
Yeah. Okay. I'll jump in.
Yeah, I'll get in too.
Without crushing things.
Yeah, get in as carefully as possible.
Yeah.
All right.
Although I'd probably sit at like the edge since I'm already not feeling well and I don't like carts, so I'll try and stay away from the textiles.
Because you get cart sick.
But carts
Jesus.
moves like
Oh.
slow. How do you get sick?
They don't move that slow.
I mean,
Depends on
they only,
Leo.
they only go like 20
Also-
miles a day, don't they?
They go about 30 miles a day at like a casual pace.
He really does have a blue butt, doesn't he?
Also,
God.
But I got him a new brush today, so he's getting a spa day. The whole thing.
also the road that you're going on is not paved. The only reason it's an official road is because this is the road that people have been taking for so long that
It's got ruts.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like a smooth ride in the back of this cart.
Wonderful.
Let me know if you need another. Whatever.
Magic hand thing.
Yeah. Jazz hands.
I don't know if lesser restoration would work for like basically motion sickness.
No, but she's still hungover. So
Yeah, but you've essentially done the extent of what you can do with that. She's not considered like poisoned anymore, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she's like she's not poisoned. It's not affecting.
okay. So I won't. There you go. Point made.
Head still hurts a bit. Her eyes are a little sensitive, but her
Let me
stomach-
offer to be nice. God damn it.
I'm saying you did remove like this upset stomach kind of situation, so she's not gonna throw up because she's hungover anytime soon.
Yeah.
That part, that she's good. It's like she drank a fuck ton of Pedialyte. Her stomach feels better,
Ew.
but she's still got like a little bit of an achy head and an achy body from it.
Good to know. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you have like a high susceptibility to poisons at this point. That's part of your character, and that's why you can't have alcohol,
I
because
think
you're particularly prone to poison.
Get a lot done. Yeah.
Other people have resistances. Poison is your weakness.
I think it must be.
It's really funny.
The D&D
Alright,
gods,
so-
including Matt Mercer, have spoken.
Yeah, I guess.
Yama gets white girl wasted every time she takes a drink.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna have,
And
like,
I mean literally just a drink.
A drink. Yeah.
A drink. Anyway, so after about 5 minutes or so, you hear calls going out from the front. The front off ahead. You can hear these calls move through the carts, everybody calling back from one cart to the next. It gets to your cart. Darren calls out to the cart in the back, and they continue it on, letting basically everyone in the caravan know it's time to set out. Compared to the previous caravan you were on, this one is a good bit larger. The last caravan you were in only had 7 carts. This one has about 24 in line, so you don't know if they're all headed to the same place or whatnot, but it is a large caravan. As you move forward, you see the gates begin to open to make way. They were closed overnight. And you set out from Waterdeep. So,
At the gates.
just it's like when a ship leaves the dock, you're like
Elbow, wrist.
Anyway, so it is going to take about 2 days worth of travel for you to get to that crossroads to make your way to Nightstone. Is there anything in particular you'd like to do whilst on your journey?
Mostly just sleep.
All right. Okay. Anything else?
My pretty boy. You're done.
Yeah, like I'm gonna like basically be like like
You gotta
like have my feet up and whatever, and just be like staring at the sky and be like, Yama,
tingle. Two of a tingle on me.
what's the deal with like you and what the hell is that magic that you use?
It's magic. Similar. I mean, it's kind of like yours. It's just the exact opposite of like yours.
Wow. That was a remarkably unclear answer. I love it.
By the same and opposite. What the hell does that mean?
Well, it means that it's stuff
Exactly what she said it means.
Shut up, DM.
The voice from the sky just speaks.
Noah.
Well, so it was taught to me by someone that may or may not be on this plane, but it's not really something I use to like illuminate people's lives like you do. Like I don't
Wow,
take care.
that's quite the fucking compliment. Thanks. Not entirely sure that's what I do, but sure. Like, so you mean like it comes from like a god?
Yeah, basically. I mean, well, so I had some before, but things went wrong and I got in a situation I kind of maybe couldn't sort of get out of, and I didn't really have enough power, and so I kind of maybe sort of asked for help and may or may not have gotten an answer. So that's where most of it comes from.
She made a deal with the devil.
I mean,
Valid.
yeah, I mean, you asked for help, so I guess that's kind of the point.
I mean, isn't that kind of what you did? I don't really know how that works, but
No, didn't really. We just kind of, my tattoo glows. Don't know where I got the tattoo, but the tattoo glows, and shit happens.
You don't know
So,
where you got the tattoo. Like it just appeared?
yeah.
look, I've had many, many, many nights that I just don't remember.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I assume it was alcohol induced. I have no idea, but it was there, or it was not there, and then I woke up and it was there. So I assume that I just made a stupid decision. But I mean, it looks cool. Like, I mean, come on. So it glows, or
In the dark?
well, so when I cast particular spells, you can see it kind of glowing, like super faint gray, and then other times, when specifically when I cast like inflict wounds, that the black veiny feature that you see come across the victim's face gets sucked into my tattoo.
Oh.
So yeah.
Cool.
I'm just imagining Neri Blacklight Party AU. It glows.
Jesus Christ. Some shitty MTV garbage.
Teen Wolf.
I wasn't going to specify which MTV teen garbage, but yeah, sure.
Biophosphors.
Jesus Christ. Blowtorch tattoo. But yeah, I mean, I guess asking for help. Like, do you know the name of the person?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we chatted a bit before I asked for help. We were kind of in the same situation, but they needed help from me and I needed help from them. So we figured it was mutually beneficial.
So are you like enthralled?
No.
That was quick. No. That was a quick, quiet answer.
Are you sure?
Also no.
Well, let's add that to the
That's-
list of shit we need to figure out.
Comforting.
Well, it's not so much as enthralled as more like this individual may do certain things that I may turn my back on sometimes, and I probably shouldn't. And so maybe it's less enthrallment and more because I know them, I'm in this too deep at this point. If that helps.
Yeah, no, not really.
Can I ask what the hell the situation was that you were both stuck in, quote unquote?
The well I've mentioned before.
Right.
So
I still don't understand. Like, what the fuck is with the well situation?
basically, long story short, is I trusted a guy who turned out to be a warlock, and that didn't go so well. So I ended up stuck in a well that was kind of in between planes. And yeah, I was stuck down there. I don't know how long it actually was. It was 30 years in this world, but for me, it was kind of
This
wishy.
guy got you. The guy got you stuck down there for 30 years.
Basically.
I think
Men
you
are garbage.
No, right?
What the fuck?
Do you know what happened to this dude, bro?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Bruh.
I do not.
Yeah, let's kick his neckbeard ass. He took away 30 years of your life. You wasted 30 years of your life on that man. What the fuck?
In a well.
Oh, that's why I'm here now, seeing the world.
Uh-huh. So what happened to that guy?
I don't quite know. Basically, you guys don't know so much about my last group, but that's what happened to us, is that we confronted him, and he was part of us. We thought he was our friend, and turned out not to be quite the truth. So unfortunately, they all died, and I wounded him, which is why he locked me away. I thought the wound was pretty bad, but I don't know if it was mortal, and when I got out, by that time, he was long gone, so I'm not quite sure what happened after.
Huh.
Yeah.
So who gave you your powers?
The other person that was trapped in the well with me. I wasn't the first person thrown in there.
Where the
Where the fuck is this well?
It's actually not that far from here. It's like 40 miles that way-ish. That's why I've been to Waterdeep before. The group that I took with there was also from here, and so we met down in the trade district and headed out. It took us a couple of days. I don't know the exact length, but it couldn't have been more than 40, 50 miles outside. It wasn't this way, but not that far. That's why I'm not particularly keen on this area.
Have you ever gone back to the well?
Nope. Never want to see that thing again.
We should go to the well, probably.
Wait, what did you eat when you were down there?
Nothing. It was half between another plane.
I'm sorry. This is just me being me. All I can think right now is Yama was trapped in the Bone Eater's well, and her patron is Mr. Centipede. Oh no! Oh, Yama's from Inuyasha. That's literally where my mind is at right now. The place between worlds, modern day and feudal Japan.
Jesus.
Oh Lord.
So, this doesn't strike me as a particularly healthy relationship, despite the fact that I'm not necessarily an expert on those. I have some questions, and I don't know how to ask any of them. So, what do you have to give this entity in trade for your magic stuff?
Oh, well, that's kind of between us. It's nothing horrible. I'm not trying to end the world or anything, promise.
Well, that sets the bar real low.
Say that you're not ending the world. I feel like you might be. Juniper, it's okay.
That's nope, not. I don't think it's world
Definitely
ending.
seem like you're trying to end the world.
Why? It's kind of, I do jobs for them, and they help me. It's just sort of give and
What
take.
kind
kind
of
of
jobs?
Nothing right now. I don't know. I've only done a couple so far.
Like
What were
what?
they?
The last job you did.
Well, so the last job I did may or may not have been espionage. That's not really that important. It's mostly information trading.
Yeah, totally normal. I mean, I do espionage for Lathander all the time.
Yeah, I can't say that's in my job description.
What, you don't do espionage for Kelemvor? I mean, he's not like, hey, Neri, go check this shit out, bro.
Nope. Can confirm everyone I've slept with in Waterdeep is by choice, not by espionage bullshit.
Hey, that was totally by choice. So,
So, what kinds of what the hell? Okay, I'm imagining like a god entity. So, a god asks you to do espionage. Doesn't that seem a little bit mundane?
also, are you sure they're a god?
That's a good question.
No real idea. Kind
I
of
mean,
know.
like, if I was like some person that was like trapped in a well that was like, hey, if you get me out of the well, I'll give you magic powers, I'd totally be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a fucking god. Like,
Hey kid, you want to buy a watch? Like,
you're controlling the narrative there, so why wouldn't you make yourself a god? No one that is there to like say you're not.
True. I have
He
some.
could be just some like punk ass kid that like he's not even middle management.
don't do
He's
that.
below middle management.
I'll be honest. If that's what it turned out to be, I would not be upset. So.
Do you want some like lower level fucking lackey telling you what to do?
More than I want this individual telling me what to do. So far, it's been a fine relationship, but in my limited research about this individual, if they are who they say they are, I would much rather it not be that individual.
who do they say
Well-
they are?
Let's say a god of ill repute.
That doesn't narrow it down.
You mean like a house of ill repute? God of ill repute? Like, is he a pimp? Like, wait.
Doesn't answer. There's no answer. That's worse. Starts Googling, are D&D Warlock packs just pimp setups?
Right? Aren't they really, though?
I mean, like, I feel like they kind of are now that I
little
think
bit.
about it. My patron's my pimp.
Travis Willingham.
Oh no, I better go do this or Ukutoa's gonna go after my kneecaps.
Oh my god. So, I feel like, do you want all of this?
Mind it, as long as it doesn't get worse. I guess the thing with gods is whatever time they work on, we'll all probably be long gone by the time anything happens. So I figure
I mean,
if I need some of that power to do whatever I want. Might as
If
mean,
your
well.
like,
god
God-
behaved like a god, but your god is behaving like a punk ass who wants you to do espionage.
True.
also, you could totally kill a god. You could do it.
Also true.
I mean, it might be hard, but you could still totally do it. So
You want me
maybe
to kill
they
that guy
won't be
for you?
around
Because I could
very
totally do
long.
it.
Because he sounds awful, and I will totally kill him for you. 2.
2 John Mulaney references in a D&D session thus far.
But
Volition, so I don't mind so much. He's fun. The end, whatever he's doing, I'm not quite sure, but for the most time being, I get to see things that I probably wouldn't otherwise have seen. My own magic beforehand was not bad, but I wasn't very good at controlling it, let's say, which is the reason why I left my original situation, and ended up where I ended up. And so now I feel more in control, and perhaps eventually one day maybe I'll go back to using my own power, but it'll need to be a while before that.
okay.
So for now, goblins.
I mean, I guess as long as you're making the choice, I'm cool with that.
For now. I mean, I guess I'll let you
Consent is
guys know if I'm
key.
not, but for now, it's fine.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about my god anyway, so.
Understatement.
Shut the fuck up, prep school.
I didn't go to fucking prep school. The fuck are you talking about? Oh my god, though, you should totally say that to Ladso. We need to can we
Sure.
direct this caravan in a completely different direction? Because I would love to see the look on his face when you say that.
Who?
Brother Ladso. That'd be fucking hilarious. Oh my god. He'd probably... I'm not sure if he'd get angry or bemused or just perplexed.
I'm just
Maybe-
saying I didn't have any fancy training. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, the training's not exactly fancy. It's just training.
Well, I mean,
So,
if you ever decide that you do want us to kill a god, I mean, apparently I'm going to take a look at some cloud giants, so that can't be that far off in difficulty.
I mean, hey, a lot of gods were once people, so probably might even be easier.
Yeah, also true. Maybe. Yeah. Who knows? Taking it one day at a time.
But we should definitely go to your well. Want to know what the fuck is up?
Maybe one of these days. Right now, let's probably deal with the giant problem first.
I'm imagining one of those tourist traps. See the world's largest ball of twine, and in this case, it's see the world's most haunted well. They say it's haunted by the spirit of a girl who died in there. So
Like the
we
ring?
can still hear her voice. No, I'm saying Yama's the girl that haunted the well.
Sometimes I can still hear her voice. Quit telling everyone I'm dead.
The well's been awfully quiet as of late, but we imagine that one day she'll come back.
Oh no! That's where she resets every time her party dies.
It's your spawn point. Oh my god.
You didn't save your game, goddammit!
Newly formed in the well.
Jesus. You will never
Well,
leave the
then.
hinterlands.
Oh no. All right. Well. Ugh. Caravan rides are boring.
Trees go by and the birds sing in the air, and I get car sick.
Finn, do you think you're ever going to go back to Waterdeep? Now that it's more or less safe?
Probably not.
You were originally
That's
from
probably
there?
for the best.
Pretty much.
You don't have any family?
No.
Oh my god, Rohan. I mean,
Also,
Oh no, I can hear him too. Let's keep
7:30, so
It's because it's 7:30 and he wants food because he was supposed to be fed over an hour ago.
well, so what did they say? Is Finn just completely in the clear now?
I mean, I don't think the Harpers give a shit. They know that you took stuff, but they also know that you didn't actually give it to the Zents, and they don't think that you know anything.
So aren't the Zents are still looking for me? I would assume they want their stuff.
Well, I mean, I think the Zents already know who you are. They probably know where you are. And they haven't come for us thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like somebody broke into the shop looking for it. Like, if anybody wanted to get you, they could have.
That's true. You could be murdered right now.
You could be.
So, I mean, my guess is that they just kind of don't care a whole lot.
Yeah. I'm not very worried.
You ever gonna take that makeup off? You still got some, like, almost out of your face.
Probably not. I think it looks good, right?
Yeah, sure. It looks great. Deception check. Do you did you actually like live somewhere in Waterdeep, or
My dogs are cuddling so cute right now. Sorry. Got distracted when I was about to talk. I lived with just like a whole bunch of other
thieves?
Vagrants.
friends. In the same, we all were in the same realm of employment.
Stealing shit? Fair enough.
Like in like a guild or like just this random conglomeration of people?
I would say it was more like a guild.
Okay.
Fair enough.
A thieves guild, perhaps.
Perhaps.
So there's nothing there left for you.
I mean, I could go back if I wanted to, but I seem to be making okay money right now, and that's all I really care about. I didn't really like anybody that I was there with, so
Well, I mean, maybe we're one step up from not liking anyone there, I guess. Fair enough.
the cat.
It's Andrew.
Oh.
He's pulling out the food, which is why Rohan is.
Oh, can you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Rohan, you're a little shit. Yep, you totally are. Don't argue with me. You're fucking shit.
Just hear the cat screaming.
Yeah, he acts like he's never fed. Like he's never seen food in his life.
Meanwhile, he's like a potato. He's
My cat does
not
that.
thin.
Well, I mean, part of he actually doesn't weigh that much. Part of that is the fact that he was neutered at a relatively old age, so he's got a little pooch. But
he's still not a lightweight cat for his size.
No. But Link weighs more than him.
Link's fucking enormous, though. He's got he's a big cat. Rohan, it has a small frame and has a lot of meat on his bones for a small frame.
He's like, I'm only 11 pounds.
When you look at the size of that cat. Yeah.
All right. Okay, well. What was that?
My cat.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, why did I feel like that had the same vibe as what are those? My cat. Anyway. So you guys basically just sit around all day conversing about various situations and points in your lives, healthy and unhealthy relationships and whatnot. Before you make your way before the caravan stops for the night. This is a really large caravan, and they do have people that are specifically hired to keep an eye out, so that's not necessarily something you are obligated to do. And we will say that you are easily find a place to like set up within the caravan circle itself and cover the day. There are some fires that are made up, large pots that are brought out, and they're basically making communal food for the evening. So you could help yourself to that before you bed down for the evening. But one thing that does happen is Adama reminds everyone that they'll continue again at dawn. So get a good night's rest.
Cool.
No bandits attack us this time.
Oh, now they're going to because you jinxed it.
I'll grab some of the communal food and then basically go to bed, aside from like flipping through my book again.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go to
Anyone
bed.
else? Okay.
I'm gonna go get something to eat as well, and then just put my bedroll and stuff out and sleep. Because traveling always makes you tired, I feel like.
Yeah.
Sitting around all day in a moving vehicle takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
All right, so you're all able to get something to eat and find a place to settle for the night. Throughout the night, some of you who maybe don't sleep quite as soundly as the others will hear the various noises of people moving around, keeping an eye out. But there's at no point during the night are you woken up to engage in any kind of combat situation. So you wake the next morning to the sounds of many feet shuffling around as everybody grabs themselves a quick dry breakfast and gets ready to set off once again just before dawn.
The same
The same series of calls occur from the front of the caravan to the back as everybody gets back on the road and continues heading in the southeast along the high road. You will reach the that crossroads around 5 in the evening. Actually, no, because you guys are leaving at dawn, so I'd probably actually say closer to like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Just like a jump off at the crossroads kind of a thing, or are they actually going to stop and let us off?
You don't know. There was no discussion of that. She just said that they'll let you off at the crossroads.
Okay.
So you all find a place in the cart once more, and the caravan sets off. After about 6 or so hours, you do notice that the cart that you inhabit, cart 8, is pulling off to the side a bit and moving out of the large line of caravans, and it begins to slow, and as it does, you can see that there is a path that leads off towards the northeast. The caravan continues moving, and as Darren pulls the cart, restrains the horses, and it comes to a stop, he just kind of looks back at you and nods.
Cool. I will chuck my shit out of the cart and thanks.
Thank you. That was a good, easy, non-attackable caravan. So thank you.
So once you all exit the cart, they don't even really glance in your direction before they begin moving again, this time at a much more brisk pace, so they can move up past the other carts and resume their place in the caravan line. So at this particular junction, you do see a series of what the fuck is the word I'm looking for? Like arrow-shaped signs secured to a wooden signpost. One of these signs reads Waterdeep, another Daggerford, and you can see that the directions they're pointing follow the high road, one in the direction that you came, one in the direction that the caravan is continuing to go. The third points up this newer trail, and it reads Nightstone, 10 miles.
Okay. So I guess we'll...
It's going to take you a few hours to make your way to Nightstone. So you can go ahead and set out in that direction. At this point in time, it's probably about 5 in the evening, because it's going to take you about 3 or so hours walking at just a general pace to make your way along the trail. After following the trail for 10 miles, getting closer, you hear the ringing of a bell, and the sound grows louder as Nightstone comes into view. The village itself is contained within a wooden palisade, beyond which you can see a windmill, a tall steeple, and the high-pitched rooftops of several other buildings. Apart from the ringing of the bell, you can detect no other activity in the village. The trail itself ends before a lowered drawbridge that spans the moat, and beyond the drawbridge, 2 stone watchtowers flank an open gap in the palisade. South of the village and surrounded by the river moat is a cone-shaped flat-top hill upon which stands a stone keep that is enclosed by a wooden wall. The keep, which overlooks the bridge, has partially collapsed on one side, and a wooden bridge that also connected to the keep to the village has also partially collapsed. Welcome to Nightstone.
Ooh.
Spooky.
Well, this place looks fun.
Is it still like the middle of the day and there's like nothing happening?
It's It's about 5 o'clock in the evening.
And we don't see anybody?
Nope.
Like not even
All you
through
hear is the
windows.
ringing of the bell.
Do we know what the
You are outside of the wooden palisade, but you hear nothing.
Do we know what a ringing bell means?
No, and it's just continuously ringing.
Is the door like the gate or anything like open?
The gate to the drawbridge.
Yeah.
Let's see. The drawbridge is lowered.
Should I sneak up and see if I can see anybody?
Yeah, you should try and sneak and see if you can see anybody inside.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sneak over and I'm gonna see if I can see anybody inside on the other side of the palisade.
Okay, so you sneak up to across the drawbridge, just peeking in. So basically, one second. I need my book. Where the fuck is it? Looking in, you can see it opens up. One second, guys. I'm trying to actually get you a map because I didn't actually anticipate eating this. Let's airdrop that to my MacBook Pro. Where'd you go? Okay. All right. Let me open this up real quick. All right. So this is Nightstone.
Okay.
It's a little blurry.
So we're right next to the drawbridge.
So you all are around here. Yeah. So I would imagine that the group of you are hanging back and that Finn is the one that went forward just to like peek beyond because she's trying to sneak ahead.
Yeah.
So looking in beyond those watchtowers that are flanking it, you see directly ahead of you is a square. It's a muddy open area, and there seems to be at this point there's like a large, relatively deep hole in the middle of it that looks like something was removed from that particular location. Roll a perception check.
Everyone?
No, just Finn.
16.
Okay, so you can see in the northeastern corner of the square. Just one second, guys. I'm doing this for the first time. Just about. Ooh, that's maybe a bad color. Let's try that again.
I don't see any lines.
Well, I removed it
Oh.
because it was not the color wasn't showing up well. There,
Oh, there we go.
and there are two creatures. I don't know if you're quite familiar with them in particular, but they look they're very large wargs. They kind of are like, I don't know how to describe this really. If you've watched Lord of the Rings ever in your life, they're wargs. So the orcs rode wargs at one point in it. The warg riders, literally the fucking same thing.
Yeah, there's a mini up in the box that has an orc on a warg.
Yeah. So they're large predatory creatures. They're considered technically monstrosities. But there are 2 wargs that look to be feeding on the carcass of, you'd assume was a dog at one point.
Oh,
You're so fluffy.
So that's what you see.
Okay, I'm gonna sneak back then. Be like, there's some crazy looking creatures in there.
how crazy.
On like a scale of like 1 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
like 9.2 probably. And if we go in there, we're definitely gonna have to fight them. I saw 2. But so when you go in, there's like a square, and they're on the far side of the square, and that's all that I saw. So there's probably more, because I didn't see any like other signs of life. So they might have killed everybody.
Hmm. When you say you didn't see any signs of life, though, did you see any bodies?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
But I mean, the creatures were kind of distracting, and I was just like, oh no. So then I came back.
Okay.
One other thing I'd like you to point out to you in particular, Finn, that you would have seen is you can see a number of relatively large rocks and sometimes boulders embedded in the earth. So that's what these are.
Oh.
And in fact, some of them looking beyond, you could see like some of the buildings have been partially crushed on some sides. So it looks like these boulders were dropped from a relatively high point.
And then there's also rocks everywhere, like it hailed boulders or something.
Or like someone laid siege.
Maybe.
I bet it's a moon creep.
The rocks themselves, I'll let you know this because you'd be able to pick up on it relatively easily. The rocks themselves are about as big as you. They're about 3 feet in diameter.
Yeah.
They're as big as me.
It's a big rock.
Well, last time we thought they were just boars, but the boars turned into orcs. So are we sure they're just rocks?
You think that a bunch of people have stone shaped into fucking rocks everywhere?
I mean, maybe they're stone giants. I don't know.
Is it like trolls or something? There were like those rocks or not trolls in
The trolls in Frozen.
Frozen, yeah.
This is not the Disney Pixar universe. If
So are the rocks like
rock trolls would kill you, they wouldn't like sing you a song about like being in love and bullshit like that.
Aw.
So do we want to go in here?
I mean,
not really.
Do we need to have to go in here?
Can we look up and see if we can see a giant cloud castle?
Maybe we should
if
go
you
back.
did, I definitely would have described that for you. They're not that hard. like see. It'd be almost impossible to miss it. You'd have to be Toph Beifong and be blind. That is the only way you wouldn't see it.
I mean, so there are wargs here, but we don't know if this was the result of what.
Like, are there people that could fling rocks that far with like big catapults, or do they look like they like came down straight down from like the sky? Like, what do their patterns? Do they look like they're just like dropped and embedded, or do they look like they like skidded?
I don't know. I couldn't really tell because I mean, is it dark or is it like light out?
It's still light out.
It's still light. So to me, it looked like they had just fallen. I think. Yeah, they just fallen. They weren't like thrown, like catapulted or anything.
Well, that's not
Like they just dropped from the sky.
Were the wargs, like, did the wargs, could you tell if they had like any like gear for riding them? Like if someone, like, was someone riding the wargs? I don't know if she saw that at all.
No,
No.
I didn't see anything like that.
Okay.
Do we see any like tracks around where they could have brought in like catapults or something?
Roll a investigation check.
Okay.
And we'll say you can like investigate this like general area.
11. 10 plus 1.
So actually do that as a survival check instead, not an investigation check. Because you're looking for tracks, so it'd be survival instead.
10 again, but plus 0, so.
Okay. Yeah, you're not really able to discern like what tracks are recent from what tracks are older, and also everything you identify, you're like, oh wait, I feel like, oh yeah, that's my shoe. Fuck. You're not particularly skilled in picking out particular tracks. That's not generally something that you've needed or were taught how to do. So there are plenty of footprints in the area, but you don't know what's recent, what's not, what creature made what, so on and so forth.
I grew up sheltered.
Well, you're also not a ranger. All right.
I mean, so our job was to just come here to see if there were cloud giants, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and we can see that there weren't any.
Well, or we could see that there were some.
Yeah, so I think that I don't think we need to go in there and fight those things. I think that we technically did what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, but like, what actually happened here? Where is everyone?
Was that part of the
Well, I
duties?
mean, I think that part of what we're supposed to do is like figure out what's like, if something's happening, figure out what's going on. Like was this the result of like, I mean, you said that there was a giant hole in the ground where something was ripped out of the ground? Like, what the hell was that about? I don't know. I guess I'm curious, and I think that chances are they're just going to tell us to come back and check it out. So
Or here, we might as well.
I think
I'm
I think
scared of fighting something without Katie and her cat with us.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Macy, you said you had to be done by 9.
Yeah.
It's 8. Moving into this next part is going to take us considerably more than an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can go ahead and break here. As you try and figure out how to move forward, you continue hearing the ringing of the temple bell.
Ooh.
Uncertain what to do to move forward. And that's where we'll end tonight.
Yeah.
I'm scared.